guys, it's me, Void Cat. I'm back.
Hey, I mean, or Canada. Canada.
There are 5 hosts. Wait, what?
Oh my god, I know, right? There are 5 lights. It's true. Look at us. There's 5 of us. Picard was wrong.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna be so mad.
It can be 4 lights featuring one of us.
That's true.
Anyway, hey guys, I'm so glad to be back here to be talking with fellow Trekkies that I love, even if I'm not super excited about
Judas. I mean,
don't worry, everybody. Keith is going to be spending all episode convincing me that it's really good, after all. So, no worries. Here are my delightful actual 4 hosts. I'm just a temporary ghost host today.
Ghost host, I like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm Michael, and you can find me on the Mastodon at Bluebeetle at Trekkies.social.
Hey everyone, Just Average J here. You can find me on all socials, yes, even Tumblr, at Just Average J.
Hi, this is Keith Hayward. I'm inconsistently Keith Hayward on Twitter and Keith Justice on Instagram. So look me up, and also please listen to my podcast, The Couch Command, at popgeeks.com.
That's a good one. Hey everyone, I'm Max Wallenstein. I am boringly just Max Wallenstein here or there, and not really on social much anymore, kind of. So
good for you.
I'm hard to find. Yeah.
Oh, and you guys can find me at VoidCat Gaming on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. I'm not there very often either. So there. All right. So we're here today to talk to you about Picard. Picard season 3, episode 1 through 3 specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did not full disclosure, I did not watch season 2. Y'all might remember me from last time when I was like at the end of season 1 of Picard, like
done.
I will not be doing this anymore.
She was done with this.
And then I watched Strange New World, the first 3 episodes. Yeah, so how do we feel about Picard so far, everyone? Generally?
It is a massive change and in my opinion, improvement from season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't wild on season 1 and just like detested season 2. It hurt to watch. Like just like really felt like a kick in the feels. And season 3 has really turned that around. I know they've got a different team putting the show together, and it really shows. The cast, I feel, is doing some stuff that's maybe not true to what I remember them as, but overall the story is holding me. I feel like the characters are pretty much feeling more like themselves, and I like the story they've got going so far. I think it's interesting, it's believable in universe, and I'm happy to be back.
Let's see. I'm also loving the latest season. I have a different love for season 2. Like there's so much joy I find in like talking about stuff you don't like. It reminds you of why you like what you do, and it just the silliness, the craziness, the bad choices were just hysterical to engage with the fandom. So like with how bad Picard went was actually a lot of fun to me. Like the worst time travelers I've ever seen since
oh my god,
was it
the
Heroes
worse
of
than
Tomorrow?
The Flash. Yeah.
Or was it Legends of Tomorrow? They are worse than Legends of Tomorrow. And I was there for it. I applauded. It was not real Star Trek for me. I just enjoyed the ride. The season 3, yeah, like so what I'm hearing is a lot of people who make the choices that we didn't like in other things in Star Trek have kind of moved on and left behind a guy who rose up from production assistant in Deep Space Nine to the point where and he rose up. He did Enterprise, and the crew even hazed him. Where Trip was talking about the worst places in the galaxy, and one of them was Metalis Prime, which is the showrunner now, Terry Metalis.
That's great.
So, and then like to take him getting hazed, he put Metalis Prime in this season of Picard as that like den of sin that Rafi's in. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun, and like the mission statement of this season is to give the TNG crew the undiscovered country send off they deserve. instead of what we saw in Nemesis.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. This is my favorite season so far. Big shocker. Yeah. I feel like some of the story is low hanging fruit and like easy out kind of thing.
Yep.
Yep. But
Sorry, I can't hold it back.
yeah, you're not wrong. But visually amazing. Like the visuals of this season are just far superior for me than the last two seasons. I mean, they're amazing. The music, the callbacks to like the old, First Contact themes, and just like how like it's really pulling the feels out of me as far as like the music and the visuals and the story. Again, there are some choices, excuse me, some choices that I think are a little bit like of an easy out. But with the visuals, the music, just the overall atmosphere, I'm digging it. Like I really am I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I've been sitting here wondering if I would, because I am a huge fan of season 3. It's my favorite so far. But I'm wondering if would I like it as much if 2 hadn't sucked as much? I don't know. But yeah, just like Jay said, I'm enjoying the visuals and the music. Yeah, and I know it's a lot of fan service, but that's okay. I like that. I mean,
yeah,
I think after
before.
I think after season 1 and 2, we deserve a little of that.
We've earned it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've fucking earned it.
We're still here. You better give us something.
In season 2, a character decided on a whim to stay back in time and raise a family. I know. Just
directive.
Did not.
The time directive.
Yes.
Shit.
Timeline.
Yeah, where are their time cops, right?
Yeah.
I forget what they call that group, but
temporal prime directive. Yeah, where's
that? Temporal prime directive. Should have slapped that guy across the galaxy.
Bam! Get out of here! What are you doing?
Right. Get out of the pool.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. There was a part of me because I watched Picard, and a lot of the issues of season 3 that I also had with season 1. So I was like, I feel like skipping season 2 made me less open to it, just because I didn't have to go down into that like really deep hole with you guys.
Deep hole of crap.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't.
All of it was bad.
90.
That's not what I'm hearing.
No, I feel like it's like in character for me, like to be the one to say that. Like I'm the one that has to say.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
It's not all bad.
I want to make a joke like that guy back in the corner that he didn't even say anything. He sucked too. Like everything was bad. They all deserve to just look down at the ground and feel bad with it. They did.
Even craft service was bad.
That's right. It's bologna and Velveeta for everyone.
How
Too much
dare
salt
you?
and everything.
Craft services keeps the production alive.
It does though. Actually,
I know.
Right.
Was there a strike? Maybe.
Should have
not in craft services.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my feelings so far, you're right. The visuals are amazing. I mean, that's one of the cool things about New Trek. Like they really had the money to make everything look beautiful. There are a couple of callbacks musically, and those will always trick you, like because your emotions are already there.
Exactly.
That's how music works. So, all right. You guys are taking advantage of us a little bit there. In terms of fan service, okay, let's talk about episode 1 and 2.
Let's
the
get into
it. Yeah.
The Next Generation. Let me start with it's obvious why it was called The Next Generation, because it's literally like Crusher and Picard's kid and LaForge's kid. The reason this bothers me, and this is actually just overall for the season, one of the things that Keith, I think you and I agreed on this about Star Wars. One of the things that annoyed me about new Star Wars was that every single story was like the Skywalkers. Right
there with you. Yep.
And that's what Star Trek is feeling like for me in New Trek, where originally when TNG came out, it was the next generation of officers coming out of Starfleet. And you had, brand new captain, brand new second in command, etc.
Yeah.
Everybody was totally new. They had Bones come in on the first episode to kind of like bless it. But aside from them all being the new generation of Starfleet officers, there was actually like no connection. Now, this Next Generation is literally like Hey, you remember those dudes from before?
Interesting.
They're the only important people in this galaxy. They're legends. Their kids are going to be legends. They're the only ones that matter. And that really bothers me in the Star Trek universe. I'm immediately kind of, oh my God.
I want to respond to that directly because I understand what you're talking about. Because when I remember when I first watched The Next Generation, when I first started, I was confused off my ass that none of them were the kids of the previous cast of Kirk.
Really?
While I was watching, I was like, okay, so who's...
Why did they call it that?
Yeah, I was like, so who is Spock's kid? Who's Kirk's kid? Wait. None of them are the kids at all. And my brain kind of bent and rended. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I guess other people matter in the world. And
kids.
Yeah, and you could just move on to all these new people you get to know from the ground up. Mm-hmm. But in this case, we are here to do a send-off. So I understand, and this is why we're with them again, versus what I do want, which is please, for love of Jesus, make new Star Trek with completely cast in the future with no one related to anybody, so we can see other people and other personalities rise up. I guess the best example of that would be the Orville, but
Well, I think fingers crossed, hopefully, if this Star Trek Academy show comes out, hopefully that's what that will be. Fingers crossed.
Maybe the students, I have a feeling we're going to see some familiar faces in the teachers.
Yeah.
You'll see Paris and
Harry Kim, here's how to be an ensign.
Yeah.
Oh my God, poor Harry. Actually, he's still an ensign. Sorry.
Just teaching clarinet.
Admiral of the ensigns. He's special.
Admiral Ensign. That'd be great.
All right. I'd like to actually start with the shorter bit, which is let's talk about Rafi and Worf.
Mm-hmm.
So quick plotline recap for everybody at home. If you stick all of the scenes together, Rafi goes to Talos Prime, which thanks for that background there, Keith. Mm-hmm. Pretends that she has fallen down the deep dark hole of using because of Seven breaking up with her. And then tries to get information. She tries to talk to her handler, gets rejected a whole bunch. And then almost gets herself killed. Good job, Rafi. I'm proud of you. You're a brave woman. Maybe you should be a little more careful, but
yes,
I respect the effort.
Yes.
And then gets saved by Worf, and then they start on their little trail of breadcrumbs, eventually leading them to the investigation in episode 3. How do we feel about the storyline?
I like it. So Rafi has been far too much of a punching bag of emotional torture.
Yes,
they're still doing that. They're still doing that.
They are. But I appreciate that they didn't completely just snap their fingers and make her girl boss and just crazy strong. What I see is a leftovers of her struggles, because you did start that, but so they have the leftovers of struggles. But they showed that she's now risen and gone beyond it. Still lived through it, still has the trauma of it, but she has taken a hold of her life so that now she's the captain of her own Millennium Falcon and being an active agent of trying to do things that matter and has a strength of her own. And then with having the strength of her own, it doesn't mean that you have to belittle Worf, which I was waiting for, because Worf is always the jobber.
Yeah,
you beat up to show that somebody's tough. So I was like, oh God, and they're Worf's a pacifist. I was like, oh Jesus, okay, here we go. But the showrunner's gone obviously no, I respect everybody. He's gone on Twitter to say that everyone gets their moment. Don't worry. So when she gets saved, Worf was the last person I thought would be doing it. And he just wailed. And I was like, Michael Dorn is doing a lot of those stunts. Yeah, so he's really good. And then Rafi's about to sneak up on him. I'm like, okay, here's where he gets put in his place. He's like, no, sorry, Worf is the king warrior.
Throws a knife
on the
into the steel decking.
The king badass.
Yeah, so thank you. And then they got a balance of strengths and weaknesses that kind of meld together that give them a plot where it seems like they're going to matter with what they're trying to do. So 2 thumbs up. Wow, you brought me around on Raffi.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I thought Raffi hasn't been my favorite the first couple seasons, but
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to seeing what her and Worf do together. I mean, Worf, I don't know, he's a badass. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
There's a reason they brought him back to DS9 after Next Gen. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Raffi's character has always been a tough sell for me. You know, like it's a tough character, I think, for anyone to play, just because you're in Star Trek and you're an addict. I mean, that just doesn't really mesh. You like, that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I've never really been a huge fan of her character. But you know, I get it. I get what they're going for. And one little thing in that whole exchange that frustrated me was her with her ex, and he was like, "You have to choose our son or saving the universe." Like,
Yeah.
are you are you kidding me? Like,
saving thousands of innocent lives or our son? You chose wrong,
like,
lady.
Yeah,
You're
like,
staying
I
X,
dare
buddy.
save people.
yeah, like, come. I just was like, I wanted to smack the husband or the ex-husband. Like, dude, you're an. But anyway, so I didn't like him.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a defense that I can provide for. I don't agree with him, but there's a defense.
No, we're not defending him. He's terrible.
Yeah.
No. Hold on a second. Defending him and Crusher on
Ooh, we'll get to
like
Crusher.
getting involved with people. No, like it's
We'll get to
it's a thing that I had to think through. Where like getting involved with people who are in Starfleet, like Max, when we were in high school, we made jokes about what these people get involved with on a weekly basis. Like, how many times did you get taken hostage this week? And like, would you want your children anywhere near that? So
there's a reason I don't wear a
it.
red shirt.
Yeah, but like,
or be a captain.
But I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but basically what you were saying, Jay, giving somebody an ultimatum that's like, do you want me to help you get in touch with your son again, or do you want me to help you figure out how thousands of people have died and millions of may die and how you might save them?
Prevent it. Yeah.
I think it's rude of you to pick those people over your son.
Yeah. I just that whole exchange infuriated me. In all honesty, I was like, dude, f you, bro.
Wait, what's rude to pick?
No, for him to give that, to be like, I'll either talk to our son or I'll help you
save the universe.
Possibly save thousands.
When you say it like that, yes, I agree. But if we go one step further to what it means to put your child in the line of fire of someone who's going to be tangling with empires that are going to be assassinating you on a daily basis, maybe you don't want your children near that. I can understand it. Like, it's cruel, but like,
he's an adult though.
Right. It's not like they're sending the toddler.
Hold on.
He's an adult, but his children aren't, and also they still
you
got to remember
kid
as a kid. Like, like I was gonna get mad at. But I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I get it now. Like,
it's okay. You can jump. We'll come back.
Cool. So like, when like Crusher was like saying, I kept your son away from you, and at first I was like, God damn it, I hate that cliche. And then she's like, well, see. 1 week you're getting assassinated by 30 different people from one planet. The next week, a new interplanetary being came after you, and then 2 days later, you got blown up, and now you're a robot. Like, like if you're in Starfleet, it is dangerous to have loved ones near you. I understand it.
I mean, I get that, but you got to remember. Hold on, isn't her ex-husband a criminal?
Who? Oh, Raffi?
Raffi's ex-husband's a criminal.
His part is.
Well, why would he be? Why was his name Sneed? I think the Ferengi. It was
in the back room of his bar.
Yeah, but okay, like, oh well, I know him. Like, he's my friend. Like, if you associate with people like that, you're doing shady stuff. So
it's true.
Who are you to say, oh, he's better off with me than you?
I'll say he's wrong there, but I'm saying that like they're both wrong. Then like don't be near someone who is a Ferengi that probably trades in people, and then and also I understand that it's dangerous being near someone who probably has a crystalline enemy like right around the corner waiting to vaporize them and anyone they love.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I understand what you're saying. You okay? I'm going to go ahead and say you are valid. You are valid, Keith. Your feelings are valid.
This just brought right away what Crusher said. Like, I was like, Crusher, how dare you? I can't believe it. She's like, well, first of all, and then she's like 15 minutes later, and then isn't there a god that still wants to take your head? Like,
okay.
Maybe
how about Shenzon? You remember Shenzon, your clone?
We're gonna talk about Rafi. Sorry, we're going to talk about this stuff with Crusher later. Let's get back to that.
Real quick. One thing I want to interject is the Ferengi. I don't know if you guys realize this. There are some Easter eggs that I found that I'm really excited about because I'm a nerd.
Cool,
the Ferengi was played by the lead in 12 Monkeys, the TV show. And there are more 12 Monkeys little Easter eggs in there, which like I loved that show, so I'm just like I'm for it. I'm like, let's go.
I don't know.
It's so good.
One other Easter egg while we're on Worf and Rafi.
Yeah,
the changeling that they were questioning and torturing is the son of Picard from Star Trek Generations while he was in the Nexus.
Wasn't he also in the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Wait, what?
Was he? Was it?
Oh my god, we don't have time for this.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We can't look stuff up right now. While we're talking about that Ferengi, though, I got to do the actor commendation thing. I want to commend 2 actors for doing a fantastic job. The guy who played the Ferengi and the lady who played the big antagonist on the Shrike.
Oh yeah.
Great job.
Amanda,
like the way she was
Palmer.
just like very quietly like giving orders while she was smoking. Just so foreboding. I love her.
They're both
and can I say
phenomenal. Yeah.
And I need to say how startling it was for me to see someone smoking in Star Trek.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I was like,
it definitely used to be like something you're not allowed to do.
Yes.
I mean, it was like, they added swearing to Star Trek. Now they have villains smoking. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you know they're evil.
You're
because they smoke.
In Star Trek. The Ferengi was so good that I was very disappointed they freaking killed him right away. Like, he laid down a pretty iconic performance of like some bad guy that maybe will do something good ever in his life, but still go back. He was a good character that should have kept around.
Yeah, I was like, that could be a good contact remade. Yeah.
The way he just like slowly revealed his hand was really good.
He was good.
Yeah, that actor played a to the T phenomenal Ferengi. I mean, that, it doesn't get better. Even though it was short lived because his head got chopped off. Phenomenal Ferengi, like everything that you would ever expect of Ferengi. I just was like, whoa. And then I found out who it was. I was like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Amanda Plummer, on the other hand, okay, don't hit me. I know she's a legend, and she's the daughter of Chang from Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer.
Yeah. And she was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And she's a
legend
actress.
But why are we hitting you?
Okay, because I'm like,
keeps putting shields
please,
up.
Please, okay. She's going too hammy for me. Like, I get it. You're an interesting bad guy, but can you dial it back just 2 to 3 notches? But also, I get that this is a mini series. Let her have fun. I'm cool with that. I get it. Everybody go all out. But if I was like to hit my balance, I would say you're good. But I need you to dial it back just a little bit. But
just
I understand why they
stop tying people to railroad tracks.
Yes.
Right.
Hold on. That's the script. That's not the actor's fault.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You don't know. Like,
I feel like
I watched some of the back stuff, and like they love her. They want her to do whatever she wants on screen. So,
okay.
And then she's like the way they talked about her and the way she's seen in Hollywood. Like, she's probably like the biggest name on set, probably. So I get why they let her go wild, and I'm glad she had fun, and everybody had fun around her. I'm just saying that on my perfect tone, just a couple notches down, please.
Okay.
I beg to disagree. I think Patrick Stewart is the biggest name on the set always. Sir Patrick.
Us?
Yeah, sir. No, to the world.
Okay.
Well, he is like
no, Keith. Yeah. You forget he was also like Professor X.
True.
Well, and he was in the original what's that word?
Listen, he's a sir, okay?
He is.
Yeah.
He
He's
is,
an
he is.
Excalibur.
No, but I'm saying like he's
And
one of the
Dune.
most world-renowned best actors. Like so anyway, that's just like, I mean, that's my opinion, obviously, but I really do feel like he is like
He's a bigger
top
deal
of
to
the
me.
list.
And I do
Yeah.
agree he is a big deal. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
like on like an
For
outside
him.
of Star Trek and like love of Patrick Stewart, like the way they talked about her, they're like, she's a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood, and don't tell her not to do anything because we can. They're like Arthur Frakes was talking about directing her, and he's like, I can tell what she's going to do next. Is amazing, and like she and him energy. So I get it. They love her.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did
But
it. I'm
I've-
glad they're happy. I'm saying my
I
personal.
feel like, yeah, no, I get it. I'm just, you know, I like to poke. You guys poke at me a lot. I get to
Please
poke
poke.
back every now and then.
it's good.
But I think that she is actually going to be like, I think that it's a build up to, because we still don't know anything about her character. So
We know
the way
that she's probably not telling the truth.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But I'm just
Safe
like, I
bet,
feel
yeah.
like everything she's doing is a lead up, and I'm open to it. You know what I mean? Like if her character is irritating us right now in certain ways, there's a reason. I want to know what that reason is. Like she's building up to something. So I'm not. I actually have not been at all frustrated with her performance. Like with her like giggling, like ooh, follow them. Like
I
I
can't
just
believe it.
Space
I-
Wicked,
yeah.
Wicked Witch of the West or East.
It's a first here on Four Hosts. Jay and I agree against Keith.
Everything is inside out this episode. No, all bets are
yeah,
off.
yeah. Nothing
Like
makes
dogs and
sense
cats
anymore.
living together. It's just crazy.
Thank you. I was
Wait,
about to say.
oh, you know what happened? I know what happened.
Yeah, what
we
happened?
accidentally went into the mirror universe.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Right.
God.
Transporter accident.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where's my beard?
Is that why you have a goatee?
I want to
The
goatee.
goatee.
Okay, we were still talking about Worf
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
So
and
let me
Raffi.
quick say, like I think the rest of you, I was not loving Raffi in seasons 1 and 2, and season 3, I was like, oh no, more Raffi
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
choices, right? Like she's just like, her character for me has just been like a bucket of bad decisions, and like everything happened in her past, I'm like, terrible choices. So like her ex-husband, I'm like, he was probably a terrible person because she would have chosen a terrible partner. So
Yeah.
anyway, and getting the like a big stamp of approval from Picard in season 2, and you know, and all the encouragement and like putting her together with Seven did nothing for me to like the character, because I'm like, it's fine. Picard will encourage everyone. He wants to bring out the best in everyone. But Raffi getting the stamp of approval from Worf is instant credibility for me. Like Worf doesn't like anybody, and so like so for him to say, you know, you have the heart of a warrior, you know, you're, and I think she thought she was going to get rejected by Worf, and you know, for him to say, you know, just say, you know, go sit on the kids' table now that I know what's going on.
Mhm.
And so there was that moment where he invites her to come along on, and I love the idea of Worf on a detective story. That's fantastic to me. So he invites her to come along and you know, and search for what's going on. And so that now I'm on board with Raffi. This is cool. Let's see how she turns it around.
Mhm.
I loved how they introduced Worf. I'm digging the he's still in his warrior gear, and he's like, yeah, this is just my casual clothes.
Yeah, these are-
Beheadings
I'm
are on
a-
Wednesdays. I am
Right.
Yeah,
smiling.
listen, he's a Klingon. That is his casual wear.
Yeah,
What do you mean
exactly,
there's
yeah.
bikes
Yeah.
on it anywhere?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I'll admit I'm excited about Worf being Raffi's mentor
Oh yeah.
versus Picard. I think Worf is a better mentor for Raffi's personality. So that, like, I will admit I'm excited about that. Even though like her character and just like that's a tough character. Like I don't really care for the Raffi character that much, but Worf as a mentor for Raffi is like way better of a fit than Picard would be.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm still frustrated kind of with the way that she's written. Like, it's very much just like they're you know, they're pushing as many buttons as possible in every scene
Yeah.
to just like, and I said this about season 1, I'm not a huge fan of her acting. But it's like not super easy to act either, because she's constantly like, oh, And you're back in withdrawal now. Oh, you're doing drugs now. Okay, we're forcing this on you now. Like every sad thing that could possibly happen, they're like, all right, let's go.
Mhm.
I agree again. Mirror universe. I agree. And I actually have not been a fan of her acting, but again, that's why I say that's a hard part.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
is.
So
Same, but what I feel that's happening in season 3 is that they are adjusting the story to her acting so that, like I said, we don't get a complete turn of her being perfect now. Through the struggle of her acting, you see that she's still troubled, but like she's pushing through. She's making progress. Like things are changing for her as she grabs for more agency. And that's why I really liked. Because I was like, when she first showed, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, they're doing this again. And then like she boasts up the communicator. I'm like, oh, we have progress. Yeah, let's do this. So
and can I say I'm a big fan of another character they introduced in the third episode with Worf and Raffi. Worf's new Kurleth. It's beautiful.
I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Designed by the guy who made the Bat'leth.
Yeah, Dan Curry.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess Michael Dorn contacted Dan Curry and said, I need a new weapon. And so he designed the Bat'leth, the Mechleth, and now the Kurleth as well. And I feel like it's a better fit. So the Mechleth is the kind of like the hooked short sword, great for fighting other Klingons because it's good against the Bat'leth. The Kurleth is just more of it's like an actual just like infantry type longsword, right? So it's just a good martial artist long weapon with the added weirdness, because it's a Klingon weapon, so there's like weird hooks and places to grab in it. So it's got that grip at the end of it, and it works for me because you can like swing it around and it gives you more versatility. So anyway, big fan of it. I like the design a lot, I think, and it fits with this like slightly slimmed down older martial arts master mentor, like kind of martial pacifist Worf that I'm good with. I really like it. I think it kind of completes his look along with like the kind of the silver fox Worf thing that he's going for.
Yeah.
I like the white hair. It's cool.
And a compliment that we used to say back in the day that shows you the level of how much work they did. They didn't have to do that. Like we used to say that if you go like one step beyond, like you have to say they didn't have to do that at all. They could have had him use a Bat'leth again, and no one would have said a thing. But they made his weapon evolve with him, and they got the guy who designed it. So season 3, they're hitting all the right spots.
Good attention to detail. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things about New Trek. I obviously have some great disagreements with the themes and the writing, but the special effects teams, the costume teams, the makeup teams, the weapon design teams, the ship design teams, they're all doing an amazing job.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
except for the lighting team.
That is my biggest
on the job.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of like neons in these past couple of episodes that I really like.
For at least twice, I have tried to adjust the lighting of my television so I could see things better, and like I never do that for anything. And as good as they're doing, one of my favorite things about the Enterprise D is that it looks like a 4-star hotel. I think that if you're going to be in space that long, I want everything to look as comfortable as motherfucking possible. I don't want the submarine look. And I think that anyone in space that long in a submarine blacklit ship would go insane. And
listen, Star Trek is a submarine show. Okay, that's
no, D was not a submarine. No, that's my Star Trek.
I have a tech nerd question, and I apologize. So when you say, because it's like it's you'll see. So with you're adjusting the TV, are you talking about it being like dark where you're trying to see what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have an HDR TV?
4K.
4K with high dynamic range.
I think so.
Okay, because they're producing for that now. So if you're on a TV that is not HDR, which I mean, I think 99% of people have HDR.
Yeah,
but high dynamic range is, highlighting the brightest, highlighting the lowest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an expanded visual spectrum, essentially.
The likelihood this TV I have is HDR is very high.
Okay, just making sure, because that they're producing shows for HDR now. So if you don't have an HDR TV, you're absolutely going to have issues with darks and lights.
But like in the future, in a Star Trek future, who goes in to have dinner with all the lights out?
No. Yeah, you're again. Your feelings are valid, Keith, and I and I very much.
He thanks you for validating his feelings.
Yeah,
I'm just.
No. Okay, but I'm just again tech nerd stuff, like you know.
And now
so,
you know.
anyway.
If you're at home and you can't see anything, you need to get an HDTV.
There you go.
Yeah, HDR is the future, high dynamic range.
And I'm like,
or email j@gmail.com.
Okay,
It won't help you that much, even if you do.
That is not my email address, for the record. Please do not email that. I have no idea who that person is.
They're going to be answering a lot of tech questions.
Okay.
That's why I don't answer my emails anymore.
All right. I want to talk about one issue that I have with the Rafi Worf storyline that is thematic throughout the show and is one of my big complaints. Okay, so sorry for that depressing preface. So there was a bit that I found was really funny where she was demanding to have an in-person meet, and Worf kept denying her, and I know that part of the reason why that happened is because they wanted the big reveal.
Yeah.
But that highlights a theme that I noticed, which is very much in the like Kurtzman wheel. Keith and I had a disagreement about this where I was like, Kurtzman really affected this show, and he was like, no, the new showrunner is really turning it around. And I'm like, no, listen, you can still very much see his influence because Starfleet is incompetent.
Yeah.
And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
They're absolutely incompetent. Shaw can't do anything. The doctor, that's the CMO, she has the same issue as Shaw where she's like, get out, you don't know anything you're doing. But when she needs to do something, she's useless.
She can't
Starfleet intelligence is like, oh, it's this one dude. We're done with this. They just drop everything. None of them have any idea what they're doing. And the big thing is, you can't depend on Starfleet. We have to depend on each other because Starfleet is useless. And I'm sure you understand. That really upsets me.
No, I will agree and disagree at the same time. We are in a superposition of realities that exist at the same time. Because, so on the one hand, I want what you want. I want my Starfleet to be top of the line people and beautiful and what I saw in Star Trek Prodigy. On the other hand, there's like a rationalization I've been having fun with that's happening in Star Trek, which is the descending from a golden age to a darker age, and then earning your back way to a golden age. Part of it that I saw was there's an interview with Jonathan Frakes. He was with Will Wheaton, and he looked up to this guy and apologized to Gene Roddenberry. He's like, I know he wants us to all agree, which I prefer, but he's like, yeah, it's just not fun to do. So on that meta level, I see why they're creating conflict. But then the last part is in universe. Like, this is my defense against season 1 of Discovery, which I liked. People are so mad that season 1 Discovery wasn't the ideal future of Star Trek. But I was like thinking that this is before they get there. And then maybe we get to see the journey of them getting there. And then also...
Right.
Is it? It's like 5 years before TOS, though.
My fingers are crossed. That is like the end of their dark ages. And then then also, and then in TNG, after they got further into the galaxy, like the Q warned, they found that they were facing darker and tougher monsters that reflected back on the Federation that made them darker. And so what I'm seeing right now to me is like we were introduced to it in a beautiful golden age. For now, the golden age is over, and what my heart is hoping for is like battling through the dark times that they're in right now, back toward a golden age. That makes sense?
I would love to know how fast it became the dark age, because this only happens like 10 years after DS9, you know?
I mean,
I'd say
we've seen societies fall pretty far in 10 years. I mean,
yeah, unfortunately. I mean,
you're always going to have like bad seeds out there, even in Utopia. So
DS9
but
had
this
some.
is not bad seeds. This is
Yeah.
all of Starfleet is incompetent. Every single part of Starfleet that we see is fucking up.
Do you feel like the compromises they had to make and during the Dominion Wars, especially like the stuff we saw in DS9,
yes,
just kind of systemically affected the kind of character of the people in Starfleet?
yes,
So,
like
like,
awareness of the Dominion War, the loss of Romulus, like all these mad tragedies have been smacking them hard. So, but you're right. Like we aren't seeing Starfleet in this show or in the Kurtzman era be the top of the line that I love and aspire to want to be in. Yeah, they make it so you're cooler if you're not in Starfleet.
Yeah, I feel like DS9 definitely introduced us to like more darker, like Trek, but but again, they're taking it way beyond what DS9 did with the new Trek.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to add anything about Raph and Worf's storyline?
No.
I'm just forward excited to more good action sequences with Worf.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just excited to see what happens because again, I think Worf is a good. I think Worf is a good mentor for her.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I actually have one more upset. I guess it's cool for us to torture people now, and that makes us the good people, the good guys. The good guys are okay with torturing.
As long as they're changelings.
As long as they are very bad.
Well,
all right.
I definitely had a problem with that.
It's a war crime, but sure.
I feel like Raffi didn't actually torture him though. Like she didn't pull his nails or anything.
And Worf was like, no.
But I thought
maybe they were just good cop, bad copping him.
Well, I feel like there was a glance between her and Worf that kind of led on to that it was a good cop, bad cop thing.
That's what I thought they were doing.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'll let that one go.
It does crack me up though that you've got the Klingon as the good cop.
I know.
Okay,
I'm a pacifist now.
Then I have one funny thing to say about it. And now you're thinking with portals.
Thank you.
I saw the bit where like the Starfleet building, gets crumbled down and then appears above it, and I was like, oh my god, it's portal.
First thing I thought of, I was like, oh, GLaDOS is going to be here somewhere.
The visual is pretty badass though. I thought they shot from orbit and blasted down through the ground. Then when it fell down through, I thought that was a pretty badass visual. Like I was like, oh shit.
I wish they would have put the second portal directly on top of it, so it was just an infinite loop of falling. Because we've all done that in the game Portal. That's like the most fun thing.
You're
that's
meant to do that.
Yeah, that's like the most fun thing to do is just have this infinite loop.
That would have been disrespectful. just this is how much I have. This is how little respect I have for Starfleet. Wow, look at him just going around. They're still screaming.
Those 117 people are still alive. They're in there somewhere.
They're falling in space forever. It's just disrespectful. Let them die.
That's wrong.
But yeah, there's some disrespectful moves done with that portal gun. Like, not to jump to the third episode. Like, whoa, ow.
Well, we were talking about the tie-in between like the Worf story and the Picard story, and I mean that's the same portal that's on that.
It is. It's like definitely the same weapon. Yeah.
Oh, one last thing on Worf would be, since everybody's getting their moments, I hope that at some point in time, Worf says to Riker or Picard, "Can I fire?" And they go, "Yes." Because like throughout the entire season, like Worf's like, "Can I shoot?" Like, "No, Worf, you can't shoot." And like that's like every episode, like, please let me shoot once. And like, they say, "Okay, well, let him have it, Worf."
I'm waiting for him to say it's a good day to die.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Keith. This Picard is very happy to hit the button. Like,
I was gonna get into that later.
Okay, perfect. And that's it for Raffi and Worf.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the big meaty main plot. Picard, Riker, Crusher, all of the kids, Captain Shaw, Seven,
the new Titan,
the new
old Titan.
You guys know TOS is my favorite. So my response when I saw the Titan was like, "Are you guys serious? Seriously?"
Right.
Okay, she's pretty though. Fuck you.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful ship.
It's
a beautiful ship.
Remember in the movie reviews, like I was like,
They just made the Constitution, but pretty.
Wasn't it the Constitution refit?
Neo Constitution.
Yeah.
I mean those nacelles alone.
New Constitution. They say it's a Titan refit, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because like if you, I was watching the videos.
Refitting is like the inside of stuff. You don't like completely remake the shell of a ship when you're.
Like it's a different ship. Like
it is a different ship.
So what some people are trying to rationalize is like somewhere in that hull are giant portions of the Titan. But then Terry Matalas did say that this is a new ship. It's not.
There's like one Jeffries tube they moved over.
Yeah.
Or the plaque.
They just wanted to say it was the same ship, so they could be like, Wrecker, you used to be in command of this ship, but you are no longer. But it's not really the same ship at all. Yeah.
He says like, nope. It's like it's just a new ship with the same name, so it's not a refit.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that in the movies, I was like, that's my favorite Enterprise. Like, I love that design so much, and then it shattered me that they killed it in the third movie. Just sent it blazing through the atmosphere, and like, oh my god, I'm still traumatized that they just blew it up. And then we're in a shitty Bird of Prey for another movie, so that I get like a full adventure on a Constitution of refit looking thing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like,
it only took 30 years, 40 years to get here.
40 years,
as long as they did it. I love that ship. Even though that ship's a wuss. Actually, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's not the bruiser on the battlefield.
Yeah, it's an exploratory vessel, which is a bold choice for a Constitution class.
It's not sovereign.
What do you mean? That's what Constitution class was made for.
Oh, you're right. But like, we're just used to, that's the ship throwing punches. But yeah,
I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we've gone to the Constitution, which is not like the sovereign fucking tank. We're not doing that. We're doing Starfleet vessel for
a little ship that gets shot up easily. So maybe don't fight the giant pointy thing.
Yeah.
Pointy thing.
So I have a question. Do you guys think that now that Trek TV and Trek movies can coexist again, do you think that they're using like the themes from the movies, like the music from the movies, and now this ship from one of the movies, right? Like, do you feel like they're kind of using this as a way to bridge, like our hopes and dreams of the movies and the TV shows coexisting?
I mean, they're all supposed to be the same universe.
Yeah,
I think it's I think the Terry Matalas is us. He's a fanboy. He's one of us, and he wanted to have the Enterprise from the movies in his thing. That's why.
Okay.
He and like it's what I want. I want to have that feel. I want those music cues. So he's like you mean I get to do whatever I want? Oh shit.
Well, I mean, having the Titan come out of the space station was reminiscent to like the old TOS movies.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
those good.
Like, I mean, that's like, but again, is that just catering to us, and is that taking away from the actual substance of the show? Right?
No, it is not.
Like, well, I mean, that's what
I don't care if it does. I'm kidding.
I'm not saying it is, but I just mean like, is this all just fan service, right? Is this just like, hey, let's put this shot in because it'll make them think like the TOS movies?
Regardless, like even if that's the first time we've seen that shot, that is a good introductory shot.
Yeah.
It's a layered thing because like the people who get it, but like if you're watching Star Trek, yes, I'm sorry, but this is what happens in Star Trek. And then you're just getting what you would be getting in Star Trek, which is the beautiful launch of your hero ship, which you should have.
Yeah. Okay.
With music that just oh god, thank you. I'm very happy. Very happy.
No, I'm happy.
Turn the lights on.
I loved it. Like, I mean, I'm just trying to be objective and say like, are they doing this just for like us, or are they doing this for the betterment of the show? Like, you know what I mean? Like for the substance. So I'm just being objective, but I love it. So I'm not complaining at all.
Doing it just to be doing it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about the Shrike. The bird.
I love the name.
Not the ship. It's interesting because she's like, it's named after first of all, why didn't you name it after a bird from your own planet? But forget that. Her her description of the Shrike is that it's named that because the Shrike, the bird on Earth, is very meticulous about its kills.
Very mean little bird.
Oh my
For
god.
everybody at home, I just want you to know that what Shrikes are really known for is storing their food. They will take
I'm
like
looking at
a
pictures.
frog, for example, that they've
Horrifying.
killed, and spear it onto a pointy branch
Yeah,
so
I'm
that
looking
they
at
can
right
store it
now.
and keep it for later. So in case
That-
you were wondering why the ship looks like it's got like 4 pointy spikes, that's why, baby.
Yeah.
They want
And
to
in one of the
spear.
so in one of the best science fiction series I've ever read
Exactly.
that Keith introduced me, there's this
The Shrike.
horrifying entity that
Sorry,
lives
you need
outside
to
of time
name
called
the series
Oh,
for it,
sorry.
please.
yeah. So this
The
this
Hyperion
monster that lives
Cantos.
outside of time is in Hyperion,
Okay.
and
Hyperion
the fall of
Cantos.
Hyperion. There's this monster called the Shrike, and it is also known as the Lord of Blades, and it has this giant tree where it hangs its victims, just like the cute little
The
bird,
Tree of
the
Pain.
cute little murder bird. So immediately, I thought of the Shrike from Hyperion when I saw the ship, and it looks like that. It looks like it's like whoever designed it did a bang
You're
up
right.
job making it just this mean looking ship that's just designed to like hang victims on the front spikes of the ship.
Yep.
It's cool. They did a really nice job. It's not a pretty ship, but that is a ship with a grim purpose, and I like it.
Terry is like our age, so I'm positive that the first thing that came to mind when
Yeah.
he said the Shrike is the Shrike from the Hyperion Cantos, and then he did a Google search for what the Shrike really is, and then that's what he used. And because
And he was like, this works, yeah.
yeah, because like I just did a Google search, and children don't do this.
No.
Holy shit! I have not seen an animal do that to another animal before. I guess that's where they got it in the book, because it impales and it keeps that person alive, and they just writhe in pain for as long as it's there, and it's whoa, man, the bird though, whoa, not cool at all. That poor
Happy little
mouse.
murder bird. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, and you're right. The ship does look like the description of the Shrike from the Hyperion Cantos.
Yeah.
I
Well,
I was
that's
thrilled
because
about that.
both of these ships involve stabbing your enemies and keeping them alive on the end of your.
Yeah.
And then
Pointy
the
limbs.
showrunner's friend was one of the first people coming out saying, "Everybody, just so you know, you're waiting for the next shitty Picard. This season's really good." And then he's like, "You know what? People should read the Hyperion Cantos. That's a really good book." So
Did he?
Yes, he did.
All right.
Interesting.
They know.
One thing
They know
I
they do.
love, that ship design's amazing, and it very much. The thing I loved about Shinzon's ship, right, the on Nemesis, was just how aggressive and just the angles and just how fearsome it looked, right? And you get that from the ship as well. It's absolutely beautifully done. And part of me was waiting for Picard to be like, "Run into it, just hit it with that ship."
Ramming speed.
That always works.
My small problem that I think might be going away for a ship is so like Shinzon and then like the bad guy from Kelvin First Trek. Where are these ratchet looking villains getting ships that are tougher than a Starfleet vessel? Like,
I would love to hear the
like,
story of where this ship came from. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like she looks like she's a pirate, and just like you have a pirate ship that can freaking like has every weapon ever and outguns a Starfleet ship, but if they're changelings, then maybe something else is going on. So maybe there's a
and they've made a massive point about how she's not actually a bounty hunter. That doesn't make sense. So
okay. But at first, I was like, okay,
they brought it up enough times for us to be like, all right, we got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, another pirate with like the most badass ship ever. Okay. But no, like, it just seems like there's going to be got some expectations behind this. So cool.
The universe is a big place. There are a lot of places where ships can be built that we don't know about.
Hey, I have a couple of clarifying questions about stuff that may or may not have happened in season 2, if you guys don't mind.
Please.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious that Picard is with Laris. I double checked with Keith, but my question is about Thaddeus. Do we know what happened with Thaddeus? Was that in season 2? Like,
yes.
What's going on with okay, because Riker's like, Diana and Kestra don't want to be with me right now, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Can somebody fill me in real fast?
More bad writing from Picard season 2.
Yeah, I blocked it out mostly. I'm trying to remember.
Okay, sure,
died.
that's fine.
So
died,
like
yeah.
they ham-fisted a reason
He's
to
dead. I got
make
that.
it
Yeah.
make it bad that so Starfleet bans any androids and stuff, and then as
Except
a direct
Picard.
yes, well
Yep.
that's outside of what happened with the Starfleet. Well, so Starfleet bans any research for any furthering of androids,
Okay.
and as a result of that, the stuff in androids could have saved his son's life. And so
Okay.
they draw a
Okay.
direct line between the main story and some loss for Riker. When you should just care about the lives of androids because you're Starfleet. You don't have to care about it because your son died. So that's not
Right.
exactly cool.
Yeah,
But,
funny thing,
right.
actually, that's another one of the themes that has been kind of bothering me about season 3, and I presume was in season 2, is that it's like the other people don't matter as much as the people you're related to.
Yeah.
Like Picard's like, all right, saving the ship, and then he's like, oh, he is my son for realsies. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that feels kind of antithetical to me.
Absolutely.
And not
I gave
Picard.
the camera a side eye
Yeah.
when I saw that happen. I was like, really? Because I'm glad you're stepping to bat for your son, and I do like that. But you're Starfleet. Lives matter. It doesn't change because it's your kid.
Yeah. That thing that I was complaining about before with Starfleet being incompetent, it's also like helping people out in general doesn't matter. It's helping out and trusting the people that you personally know or are related to. So that's why I was kind of annoyed with the next gen stuff. Like, the helmsman is great because she's Geordi's daughter.
What I like, they keep bringing that up, but like how Starfleet keeps ignoring people who need help. But my in-head canon is that there's a bigger picture going on that makes it so they can't. But like, there are the lower level people, quote unquote, that can't deal with their bigger picture problem and do still have to step to bat for the smaller people. Not that like Starfleet, it's like putting their nose in the air, but they have a bigger picture that they do have to care about, that if they do this, then like millions of people die. But if they let other people do it, then so that's how I'm rationalizing it.
Yeah.
So,
over the last 60 years, the Prime Directive has gone from like, hey, maybe you don't give tech to people who wouldn't be able to develop that tech themselves yet. That's probably a bad thing. To like, you're not allowed to help anybody ever, and how dare you even try?
Well, so I don't remember the exact yearing, like the timeline of all this, but and again, I don't mean to bring up Discovery, but I know that Starfleet falls apart. So like maybe this is all a part of like, hey, like this is all happening. We're all irritated, but then like in the grand scheme of things, Starfleet falls apart, and I mean the burn was like a part of it. But part of me feels like it was systemically falling apart even before that. So I'm wondering if this is actually a conscious decision to make Starfleet, suck a little more.
Because of Kurtzman, like 9/11, the government is incompetent. They're all actually incapable of helping us or actively against us thing. Yeah, I do think genuinely that he's trying to destroy Starfleet, and I hate that.
Yeah. I think there's sometimes I don't know, unless so I think there might be a subconscious thing about rebelling against the father, because like the TNG crew has always been all for doing this, because they didn't want Gene Roddenberry wanted the stuff that
Okay,
and then,
so
like, throughout since he passed away, they're like, now we get to do it our way, and we're still going through that. We don't have a new showrunner that wants to bring back golden ages.
Yeah, so we were talking about, or rather, you mentioned how Jonathan Frakes said one of his frustrations with TNG was, Roddenberry said every episode has to end with everybody, getting along and kind of agreeing with each other, and he found that boring. I totally get it, but you can be a lot more subtle than Picard and Riker just outright having it against each other on the bridge.
Oof,
like,
I was so upset by that.
Yeah, that whole exchange really frustrated me.
I also it's wrong, quote unquote, but is this like I think what we're seeing is like They only have 10 episodes, guys. We need to have a downfall, and we need to have a rise, and we need to break and then bring apart. And
then the
if they don't
10
do it in
episode
big
format
ways-
doesn't work.
It
Yeah.
definitely frustrates me to have 3
Yeah.
captains on a ship and all 3 of them fighting.
Mhm.
100%. Well, and
Mhm.
I've been frustrated with the streaming format of 10 episodes since we
Yeah.
started doing these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work for me. Like, I don't
Please
want to.
bring back episodic stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
The
And
Orville,
more than
please.
and
Wait,
more
wait,
than
wait.
yeah, and more than 10 episodes. Like, give us a 26 episode season. Like, there's so much you could pull from this stuff that you're throwing things at us at such a speed that it's like we have to fit this in and this in and this in and this in, and we need these like these arcs, these character arcs, but then they need to like hate each other, but then they need redemption, and we need to do it in 10 episodes. It's like, no, dude, you don't.
There's some behind the scenes episodes. There's some behind the scenes issues going on here, which is generally that in Hollywood, the amount of shows and movies that are very high production, especially in the the special effects field, has shot up, and there are not that many special effect studios, so they're really not capable of keeping up already.
It's just
Which is why you'll see some stuff like Black Adam having special effects that were reminiscent of the Scorpion King like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They're doing a really good job making everything look beautiful, but also producing 24 episodes is a lot more expensive and a lot more work than
I was
producing
gonna
10.
say, like the dark side of what we want versus what works is like I keep bringing it up, but it's the Orville. Like everything we're asking for is.
I know. I was
being
gonna
done.
say it earlier. I was
It's,
like,
it's
let me be
literally
peaceful for a
being
second.
done.
Watch the Orville.
Yeah,
It's literally
I know.
being done in the Orville. They give us like 20 episodes, self-contained. Everybody's acting like they're in Starfleet, and unfortunately, the Orville every season is on the critical brink of getting canceled. So if they do it our way, then we might not get anything. And then if you do it this way, then they keep getting able to make things because the
Well,
world is different.
except they're canceling, right? Discovery got canceled, so this is the last season of Discovery, last season of Picard.
Well,
you know,
after 5 seasons and like
they could
3
run.
spinoffs, like even though like they're getting canceled now because there's been like an economic crash in the industry of almost.
I gotta tell you guys, it's bad. There's a lot of layoffs going on.
Yeah,
well,
so
that's true in tech in my world too. There've been like 100,000 layoffs. Like the economy in general is just insane right now as far as jobs. But what I was going to say,
but are not down.
Well, we could have a side conversation about that.
Yeah, let's
later. But I'm with you like 100%.
I know.
I wanted to, but it keeps getting canceled every time they try to do it.
Yeah. But what I was going to say about Discovery though is, the thing that, and I'm hoping that they have some kind of new Trek spinoff because, and I like the fact that Discovery is so far in the future that it's not connected to any of the TNG and the current Trek. And
except that Michael is related to Spock.
Yeah. Well, but that said, I mean, but the storylines and there's so much, like you're 1,000 years in the future. There's so much you can do. There are new alien races, new technology, new this, new that. Like you literally have your paint palette, if you're an artist, has like infinity colors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you can do anything, and it's being it's being canceled, and that frustrates me because they build up to this future thing, and there's so many possibilities there, and then they cancel it, and I'm like, oh, you guys, like, come on. So anyway, sorry, that was my side tangent.
That's okay. I think that was the Hope for Strange New Worlds too. One of the reasons I haven't been looking at it is because once again they just brought back all of the characters, and I'm like,
yeah, God.
Let's not do the every single important person in the universe is a Skywalker thing for Star Trek.
Right. Yeah. Right. Agreed.
Which is why, like, I had a slight aneurysm every time somebody was referred to from the original TNG cast was referred to as a legend in universe. I was like, that's fine. I get it.
I actually could say the same about Picard. And one of the things that frustrated me is how they told Jack, your dad's like the most famous guy in the galaxy or whatever.
Yeah,
like, you know,
exactly.
your dad's like the most famous. Well, no, there were a lot of great Starfleet officers. You know, like Picard's amazing. Obviously, he's my favorite captain. But like to say that the most famous person in the galaxy, like or whatever,
I
like
absolutely agree.
like there has to be more than just him as a legendary captain / admiral. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that frustrated me because are you saying that like no other captains and no other admirals and no other Starfleet officers are of that caliber? Well, then that is tying, that's tying into the whole. Hey, wait. So does Starfleet suck? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that. Sure. Like that should not be the exception. Starfleet should have legendary captains everywhere.
1000%. They should all be that amazing. You know, like
okay,
a good portion of them.
I agree with you guys, but how about this? Like when it comes to war and maybe presidents, like throughout like decades, you do see like a few people rise up as in these like people who are the ones who are the world shifters and
exceptional even for the exceptional.
And like Picard really has saved the universe so many times. Like are Starfleet captains always saving the universe, or maybe Picard is?
But Picard and Riker and Worf.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they are part of that. I'm just saying it's kind
the whole
of
crew is
possible.
legendary.
And LaForge?
It's kind of possible.
The whole crew is legendary.
How about this? Who's to say that there isn't some ship out there with Captain Johnny McBlackman, and like he's also really cool. And there's a conversation going on. You don't know Johnny McBlackman? He's also very cool. and then there's like this conversations happening 80 different times on different starships that we just haven't seen.
They just have 800 legends.
Yes, we're looking at this story right here, and like the level of respect that I love that happened was 7-9 mouthed off to Picard, and then Riker stepped over, was like, "Hold up, he's an admiral. You're not talking to him like that." I was like, "Thank you, please."
And she's like, "No, that's how I talk to my friends."
As a friend, I like that too. Like, there's a real balance of like things that I want to happening at the same time, where like Picard and 7-9 did connect on a friendship level that kind of allows her to talk to him like that. But we're on a Starfleet vessel, and you're talking to my best friend who saved my life and everyone's lives a million times. No, you don't get to talk to him like that. I was like, thank you, everybody in the room right now. You guys are like, there's too much happening usually where she would mob off to him, and then Picard would just hanging like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, no, you're not sorry.
The show is making it hard to care about chain of command and rank because what they've shown us is that everybody in the chain of command kind of sucks. So the best way to do good is to just like ignore them anyway.
I'll say they are caring about it somewhat, because I did like how Shaw was like, "Yeah, you know, you guys who keep breaking rules like that, that's not cool." I was like, "You're right. It's not cool, guys. You can't just steal ships. You should be court-martialed," like we were talking about during the movies, where the crew steals an Enterprise because they want to go on an adventure, and then like that should be death penalty. But
you guys,
it's you guys,
you rascals.
But you know what else is not cool? Being in charge of a ship and then something going bad, and then being like, "You know what? Fuck you. You be in charge now. I'm leaving."
Well, Shaw is just.
He did turn it over to the most capable person.
I feel quite bad for that actor, honestly. One of my friends knows him, and just like I feel quite bad. You know, like I'd be so excited to be cast in Star Trek, and then you hand me this role.
I think he's potentially a Jellicoe.
I think he.
I think Jellicoe, at least you could see his point of view. This guy's just
later. We found out later. Like when we first meet Jellicoe, we see him saying we're seeing Shaw. Like as
you're telling me Shaw's going to be written as more than a one-sided
Once
antagonist?
we get further in the story, like with Jellicoe, at the end we're going, "Oh, he wasn't an asshole. He was."
I would love for you to be right.
I kind of like him as an asshole.
Yeah, me too.
So I think I saw an interview where he actually is thrilled to be in Trek. Like he was like, I'm so excited to be doing this.
Right.
And the thing is, and actually, I'll admit, I love that actor.
But also, I need all of you to take actor interviews with a grain of salt. You can't.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I never think of that.
Yeah, you remember what last season of Game of Thrones? They're all like, "Yeah, best season ever."
Or poor Mark Hamill.
Suck.
Yeah.
They were doing
Oh
the
my
best
gosh,
job at
yeah.
covering themselves there. They were like
Yeah.
themselves.
But that
maybe
said,
Ryan Johnson made some good calls in my role.
Oh, God. Poor Mark.
But I do love that actor. I absolutely, and he was in 12 Monkeys as well. But he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he is a phenomenal actor. So like, for anyone to play that role, like he is like the guy. He's very, very, very good.
Yeah,
Indeed.
He's very convincing. He sells the role.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love his voice. I love his voice. I like, he's such a deep, like snarky, like voice. I love his voice.
Well, and I love when they had him. They were all having dinner, and he's just like, "No, I'm not going to let you take the ship."
Yep.
Listen,
like,
I love
"What?"
you. I really do.
Yeah.
No.
But no.
But no.
But no, this is my ship. You guys had your run.
Yeah.
But putting Picard and Riker in a
like
bunk.
that.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
lower
so
decks,
funny.
lower
Too
deck
far.
style. No,
Too far.
they put
didn't have any
Riker
other
and
room.
Picard in
Oh,
lower
sure.
decks. Like that was a lower decks crossover.
Yeah.
We just didn't see any of them.
No, listen. On a ship, it's a Constitution class. The Constitution class holds like 350 people. So what you have is like the captain's room, big, spacious, one bed. The officers' rooms, like if they're like lieutenant commanders, they have pretty nice rooms. And then when you start hitting lieutenant, then maybe you're sharing 2 to a room. Junior lieutenants, ensigns, like maybe 3 or 4, and then all of the crew members are like sharing, basically. So it's reasonable on a ship that small that if you suddenly have 2 people appear out of nowhere, you just don't have any big rooms for them.
I believe you because you
I
know
think
better
you
on
asked
this kind of
somebody
thing.
to move.
I just think that in a Starfleet vessel that we should have like a lot of awesome rooms. And
You're like, all right, you
especially-
2 lieutenants, go sleep in
Exactly.
Like
You're going
replicate
to
a
the
decent
galley.
queen size memory foam bed for Picard at least. Come on.
Or hook them up with the holodeck for while they
Right.
sleep.
Nah, so I gave an excuse for why that might happen, but it was definitely Shaw just being petty.
Yeah, that was ultra petty. Oh.
Doing his best impression of Cypher from the Matrix, eating his steak.
Mhm. Okay, so let's talk about the big thing here. How do we feel about Jack Crusher, son of Picard?
I like him. I don't know. I mean,
It's
there was
kinda
no
like-
surprise that it was his son.
Yeah, I mean, really
Yeah.
not.
Sort of.
It's titled Next Generation. I mean, like,
They dropped some hints that. So I think it's like what we did to Kirk's son, the apology. Because I remember like Kirk's son
Yeah.
shows up. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Oh, that's awesome. He gets to see his son grow
Oh,
up, and then next movie,
David.
killed him. Like, shit, God, he was in one movie, and
Yeah.
then like, now Picard, he doesn't have any kids, and you're like, oh man, okay, and then. There's like, and then they also did this in Ghostbusters 2, where you think that Venkman and Sigourney Weaver are gonna have a kid, but no, and it's just like, ugh. Or in Dawson's Creek, where Dawson doesn't end up with Joey. Like, can I please have it just end up normal? What I want once, and
Or on
now we
Felicity,
don't
where
get it.
no, just kidding.
Well, so this is a part of that like low hanging fruit. I think this was easy. Kirk, they did it with Kirk.
1000%.
It's already been done. It's low hanging fruit. I love the actor. The guy is playing Jack Crusher phenomenally.
Mhm.
Like and he's a great looking guy. Like it's
I like the throwaway line about his accent too.
well yeah. Oh, he went to school in London. It must be genetic. Yeah, but
But
But the thing is,
there
like,
was a joke about Jean-Luc's accent actually being different, and it's just because like the universal translator or whatever.
yeah. It's just low hanging fruit. Like it's too easy. And as soon as Riker in the earlier episodes, like, tell me you don't see it. And I'm like, oh God, are we really going to do this?
I thought that was really funny too, because like, do you mean physically how he looks, or are you talking about the behavior that he's exhibiting? And if we're talking about the behavior that he's exhibiting, sure, maybe it matches Picard and Picard,
Right.
but it does not match Picard and Next Gen.
Or it does match Picard
does.
next gen before he got stabbed.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
He gets
Remember?
stabbed
Do you
in the heart?
remember? I forget what
Tapestry, I
episode or
think.
season that was. Yeah.
The Q shows up, says, "Hey, you want to have an easier life? And remember when you were a hothead back when you were a kid, and then you got stabbed through the heart, and then that's
Okay.
what kind of like
But
made
did
you
Riker
more."
know Picard at that time?
But
Oh,
Riker knows that story.
okay.
Like Riker knows of
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's knowing a story and seeing somebody behave in a certain way is kind of different. And Riker would have known Picard in his, captain era.
Maybe Riker was watching the show at the time when Picard was a kid, and he understood that episode. And that's how
I would go with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think you just crap in how he's there through the television show like we did,
Yep. Yep. Good call.
and Riker would not have seen that. But yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. But now that's why it's because it's the TV
Well,
show.
it's just the Picard show thinks of Picard as this like hothead guy whose first instinct is to shoot.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm
Sergeant
very
Picard
upset
thinks
about.
he is.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm remembering how people used to like the people who didn't like Picard didn't like him because he would do absolutely everything possible to not shoot a single proton torpedo. And then sometimes in some episodes by the end he was forced to fight, and then he was like, okay, fine, battle stations. This Picard is like getting in a fight about wanting to shoot immediately, and I feel really weird about that.
But in this case, he was right. Like they, like,
Yeah, that's because it's written that way.
well, yes, of course. But I mean, like, I was so annoyed with Riker at the end for throwing Picard off the bridge because I'm like, Riker, if you had given the command right away, the Shrike wouldn't have been turned around. They wouldn't have been able to generate the portal.
Wait, no, they weren't right. Because everything that, like all the schematics, all the numbers added up to, if they get into a shooting match, the Titan goes down. Like there's no win if they throw down with the Titan.
Even if they shoot her in the back. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Secondarily,
yeah.
She mentions shoot, I forget what the captain Varric?
Vatic.
Yeah.
Vatic knows their psych profile. So she's obviously in cahoots with the changeling that's on the ship. So yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
So I was wondering why did like Picard? You just heard everybody in the room say that you're completely outgunned, and that from what they described, they shouldn't have been able to run. Like, and the only reason they're able to run is because they want to take Jack Crusher alive for some reason. But
otherwise
you don't win.
Destroy the ship.
Yeah. I actually, that's one of the issues I have with this season as well is I feel like Picard is out of character, and in some ways Riker is as well, but I feel like that is also because Riker has grown, you know what I mean, into a captain. Like I feel like he's being more cautious because he has 20 years of experience now that he didn't have back when he was more gung-ho on the Enterprise. But to have Picard be like, shoot, fire, kill, just to fight, we have to fight. Like, wait, like that wasn't, I mean, yeah, like Picard used to like ram things with the Enterprise and stuff.
Movie
like, okay,
Picard.
I get it. Yeah.
Picard.
But being so like gung-ho about just fighting when you're outmatched, it does not feel very true to his character. And that did frustrate me, I'll be honest.
Forced drama, like
they want a corner where the ship just can't run, is outmatched in all ways. So you throw a desperate punch and hope you get lucky, and in this case, you literally punch yourself in the butt.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
disrespectful.
Here's a theory that I have, which I think the TV show kind of tried to telegraph, but maybe you'll disagree with me. The anomaly that they're inside is live.
Biological. Yeah, I was wondering. I'm wondering where they're going with that.
They're going down into its stomach right now.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some big reveal next episode. I mean, obviously there has to be because you've killed us all, Jean-Luc. Well, and
just kidding.
So I know. Here's another thing though, is he's pissed off at Picard, right? Get off my bridge. But dude, you have a changeling in the ship, like that's absolutely doing everything. Like Picard's just trying to get
Actively
out of
committing
there.
sabotage. Yeah.
Yeah, Picard's just
Mhm.
trying to help y'all get out of there. Like he's freaking out. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, we got to figure out our way out of here." And there's a saboteur in there. Like it's not Jean-Luc doing this stuff. It's the saboteur. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like
the
that's just-
saboteur did it.
it's straight up Jonathan Frakes being like, you know what? We didn't have enough conflict in the TNG. I want some conflict now.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think the nebula is alive?
Because it has readings that are both electrical and biological.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
made a point. They made a point to say that like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, several times.
Okay. All right.
They're going down into its butt.
It was
That's how it
darker.
works.
It was getting darker the farther they went down. So I'm just,
Yeah. Were they saying that's like a gravitational anomaly, like heading toward like a singularity or something? Is that?
It's an
I think
anal
that's what
anomaly.
implying.
They're
Yeah,
gonna-
yeah, exactly.
they're gonna get pooped out. They're gonna get pooped
Oh
out.
man, I'll be so
In a
mad.
different dimension.
It's a poop wormhole. A poop wormhole, everyone.
They could
Yeah,
say
I've
this
been
to the
wondering.
mirror universe.
I completely missed that. I thought what they're going to do is one of them Star Trek things where we have to turn into the gravity well. What? We're going to turn into it. And then they dive at it and regenerating energy as it rips off of our shields and we're slingshot out. And then
Yeah, as if
kicker
like
in a
as
Wait,
ship.
after
the
300
deflector
years, no one
dish.
heard of a slingshot maneuver.
Yeah, something like- that's what I'm expecting.
It forced a sulfur leak. Why does it smell so bad?
Or we're gonna get a way to go, Dallas from the Hunter by October moment as
Oh, yeah.
Jordy's ship dives in at the last moment to save him.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, but I want to know where the biological like. I'm curious to see what that ends up being.
The biological reading. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I would just say that if it was like they know what the Righton system is, so it should have been ahead of time before they got there if that was like a living thing. And
Well, but it's outside
Crusher
of
was there first.
yeah, but it's outside of Federation space, so
Mhm.
they wouldn't have gone and explored it. It's not in Federation space.
We shall see.
I mean, we shall. Yep.
Yes, we
Well,
shall.
you guys will see. You can tell me.
You're not gonna watch the rest of it?
I
You
haven't
really give it up?
decided yet. Thus far, it's a lot of infighting, and only the main characters are important in the universe, and it makes me kind of sad. So yeah, maybe.
Okay,
I haven't decided yet.
I understand.
Plus, like I said, the Starfleet is incompetent thing really frustrates me.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So
Um,
far, I'm definitely not. I'm not convincing you. I'm not. There's
Yeah,
no,
sorry, Cliff.
it's cool. It's
Sorry,
cool.
Keith.
Cool swords,
alright.
though, right? All right, yeah,
Yes, 100%. Cool swords, cool ships.
sweet. That's what I'm
Good
sticking around.
music. And I do think that
Oh,
Picard's
yeah,
is
music.
more in character.
Listen,
Hmm?
there's the bit at the end of episode 2 where Crusher comes onto the bridge and they make eye contact, and then he realizes based on her face, yes, this is my son. And like a romantic theme comes on the music, and I was like, is this the time you guys
Right. No is the answer.
like violence coming on? You're like, guys, we're being shot at.
I do like
Alright.
that once Shaw realized that it was his son, or Picard's son, he's like, oh fuck, all right.
Yeah.
Then he turned around and
Points
said, we
to
gotta
charge,
save.
Shaw for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort
It
of.
shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it shouldn't
Well-
make a difference. It bothered me when they're like, "It's your son." Well, now that changes everything. Like, no, it doesn't,
it?
guys. You can't. You shouldn't say that. But okay, I get what you're doing. I'm gonna turn away and let you guys do it.
I think Shaw has the emotional intelligence to read that these guys are not. They're playing by their rules, and it's. I don't know.
And that's why
Picard, that's gonna affect Picard.
Starfleet should say we don't trade in lives.
Mhm.
I don't care if
Yeah.
it's son or not,
Yeah.
but they want their dramatic moment, which I get it.
No.
But,
Mhm.
Breen, you're completely right on that. Is bad
Thanks.
move on world and character and what we should be seeing in Starfleet. But yeah, they have their moment, and then like also you got to have their moment. You only got 10 episodes to do it, so. Picard, get off my bridge! Oh no! So that next episode they can be
I'm
like,
mad about that.
Picard, get back up! Oh man,
I
you're
still
right.
love you.
I
You're
love
like
you,
my
dude.
fan.
And
Yeah.
they both-
Buddies.
they both punch the console at the same time and shoot 2 photon torpedoes. They're doing that. I get it.
It's like you shot a photon torpedo, I shot a photon torpedo.
I was waiting for Picard to be like, "Do the Riker maneuver."
Me too.
Right.
Oh no,
Yes.
no, the
Yes.
Picard maneuver. I thought that's what they're gonna do.
One of those two. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that what was gonna happen. Like we're completely outgunned. She says even if we move, she's gonna blow it outside the sky. That's the perfect time to Picard maneuver so that she tries to tractor the wrong ship, and then they get out. I was like, do it. Oh, you're just gonna go. Okay, all right. Well, that worked too.
One thing I want to throw out with the Shaw thing is, so I'll admit I like that the new Trek is more allows for more language and gore. Like it's not necessarily like our old Trek, but when Shaw gets effed up, like when he falls and busts his face open and it's like dripping blood everywhere and his legs broken out.
Yeah,
I was like, dude,
that was
like
visceral. Yeah,
I was like, that's really what happens when you get messed up. When you hit a metal deck, like that's real. Like that's real.
And
you know, it's
a lot.
Yeah, so I was just like, whoa, like it took me back, like taken aback a little bit. Like I was like, whoa, like wow, I didn't expect it to look like that. But then I was like, but yes, because that's real. Like when people get hurt like that, that's the real thing that can happen. Not like a little like burn thing, and then I gotta go to sick bay. You know what I mean? Like
it's a flesh
real.
wound.
Yeah, like it's like that's I was like the guy in me was like, yeah, blood bones.
They're still not putting 5-point harnesses in Starfleet vessels.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It was also necessary because him bleeding everywhere is what makes Jack be like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
There's a leak.
You're a ranger. You track blood. Yeah.
Yeah. On that, like, Starfleet is incompetent line, there's a lot of like, hey, Seven was in a better place when she was a ranger because she could actually help people, which by implication, Starfleet doesn't do. And I was like, pardon? Oh, yeah. I wrote down the quote. The two things about being a ranger: one, you trust your instincts, which, okay, I can see how, having a chain of command would kind of mess with that. Fine. But bring justice to unjust worlds. I was like, I'm sorry. You think Starfleet doesn't do that?
I know.
Yeah. Aren't you alive because of Starfleet? Remember that part? They get right in Sergeant Prodigy. They get that right in Sergeant Prodigy. And they really do take part. Starfleet.
I'm sorry. I need philosophy in my Star Trek.
I like philosophy in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
Max, you said Max, you
yeah.
said that there's philosophy in Prodigy.
I think you're getting. So I think you have to think about who it's aimed at. So I was talking to my son, who's 11 and turning 12 this month.
The correct age for Prodigy.
Yeah, so he is like bang on target audience for Prodigy, and he's like, yeah, I think target audience is, and he's coming with a 12-year-old's perspective, is like 10 and up. And I'm like, well, yeah, I enjoyed it. And so it's cerebral for him. Right?
It does teach moral lessons.
Well, yeah, so
very well.
I'm satisfied with that.
And and so it makes the case for why Starfleet is important. Why, what sets Starfleet apart from a wild universe, and why it matters. Why and the
Flight matters.
Magic of the universal translator, that bringing together of different cultures, and why, and then it's the meta text within Prodigy of all these different cultures, all these different characters who come from wildly different places and couldn't communicate before they were introduced to Starfleet, are now are now making their way through the universe and making a difference, bringing good to doing good to a wild part of the galaxy. That resonates with my son.
That's beautiful. That's what I want in my Star Trek. That's what Star Trek should be about.
It regularly teaches to kids and maybe people who aren't into Star Trek why you love Starfleet. Like all these kids in the show, every episode, they're more and more. They got a holographic Janeway teaching them the importance of Starfleet, what it means to be a part of it, and like all of them are coming around to like really that being their dream to live up to, like helping people, bringing people together, and the Prodigy really gets the heart of Star Trek.
Okay, I might watch Prodigy then.
Yeah, and then like when you get to see Starfleet, they're acting like Starfleet.
Yeah, so I have this note that is specifically for Keith.
Mm-hmm.
You said Star Trek for you was about changing minds. Like introducing somebody to an idea and then being able to change their mind about it. Like you talked about that episode with the I
Asexual
forget her
being.
name. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It grew my mind.
And I was like, Star Trek is about changing minds, right? Can you see that happening with Picard?
No. No.
Like it's not really like saying anything about anything, but it sounds to me like Prodigy's doing it.
Yes. So what I'm getting out of Star Trek Picard season 3, shoot. You make a very great point. But I guess like no, it's okay. It's just that like I was gonna say like what I'm getting out of season 3 of Picard is what I got out of Undiscovered Country. But in Undiscovered Country, that will change your mind and teach you a bigger lesson about like who you think your enemies are. But we don't know if they're going to do that or not by the end of this one. So like it's still out.
Right.
It's still out on what they finally come to. But yeah, we're not really teaching any philosophical lessons as much as getting a beautiful send-off that's better than we got in Nemesis.
Well, nothing will ever be as bad as a bridge falling on Kirk, so.
Don't say that, because I said nothing can be worse than the prequels and then the sequels. I can never say it can never get worse ever again. That is now dangerous to me to ever say, because going into the sequels, I was like, ha ha ha, universe, I've won. You can't get worse than the prequels. I win! Oh God! Oh,
here, Keith. God. Here, Keith. Hold my beer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Damn! Just broke all of my bones. Like, all right, I've learned my lesson, universe. I will never say it again.
Yeah, that whole thing was your fault, Keith.
Yeah.
Get worse than a bridge falling on Kirk's. But don't tempt the universe to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, Jay.
Well, and I don't know if I should. We can come back to this after if it's too early to do this. But two questions. Number one, how do you think they're going to get out of this gravity well issue? Number two, why do you think she wants Jack so bad?
Well, they implied that. Like I wrote down this quote, why do they want Jack? It must be about you. So they implied that like they already know that Jack is Picard's son and that's why they want Jack. So we might have something to do with Picard's DNA.
Yeah.
Because the cutest and he came back from the Borg and he's an android now, etc. All sorts of like shenanigans have gone on with. Oh, especially if he's an android now, then he wouldn't have the information. If it's DNA, he wouldn't have the information they need. So they would have to get his son.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
Good call.
Okay.
I'm really good at these.
Really good. Okay.
And
wow.
then how
My
they're
mind's
gonna
blown.
get? Thanks. How they're gonna get out of the thing?
They're gonna use the deflector dish.
It's gonna be the Cerritos coming out from the side to blow.
That'd be
awesome.
I don't know. I'm wondering if Big Brother Wesley is going to come save the day.
Oh my God! Please no.
No.
Unfortunately,
I know it's not
because that's his big brother. Like that's his brother, right?
It's kind of revealed it won't be that. And I'm gonna say that.
I genuinely think it's going to be an unexpected solution because the anomaly is alive.
Voicecad, your theory about
that's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Picard DNA and Jack is so good and
Thank
perfect
you.
that it will never happen.
Which is why
makes too much sense.
I am honestly like when you make an idea that good, the showrunners they don't know it's not gonna.
Which is why we've talked about this for years since we've ever recorded with Void, is how Void should be writing this stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, because I didn't even think of that, and it was like a mind explosion right now. So thank you.
When you hear it, and you're like, yes, that should be it. Thank you.
Yep,
makes perfect sense.
And you do that all the time.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I thought that there was, before we got the father-son reveal, a lot of people thought that would be too on the nose, and then thought that what was going to happen was that Jack was a clone of the original Jack Crusher. Because there's like hints of it, of like Jack Crusher's the name of her first husband's suitcase was in that ship, and then also there's lots of like DNA hints in the final credits. So that's what people thought, that maybe and that's why I thought they're like some super secret awesome cloning technology that's within Jack Crusher himself is what they want.
You thought it was a Jack Crusher clone, but they're actually trying to make another Picard clone.
So they capture him and they get Jack
Mission's
Crusher.
on all over again.
One
It looks
question,
like Tom Harding or whatever.
right? One question I
Yes,
have
please.
about Jack Crusher. All right, and this is I can't think of the word right now, but is Jack Crusher supposed to be 20 years old?
That's what they say.
He's definitely 34.
Because that guy is not 20 years old.
36.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's put in some hard mileage then. If he's
Listen.
yeah.
It's been a hard
So,
20 years.
I'm just saying, like, and this goes back to like casting, like, you know, it's like 24-year-olds playing high schoolers, right? Like,
Yeah,
He-
famously,
He spent some time on Rura Pente. So.
Rizzo in
Right.
Greece was like 30 when they filmed.
Jeez.
But you know, he's been living his life being protected from Starfleet by his mom by instead doing highly illegal, like very dangerous trades. So, you know, whatever. He's grown older
Yeah, but
faster than one
now
might
he's
expect.
protected from Starfleet. So
Speaking of
Yeah,
that,
Ugh.
I thought that
Speaking
was
of-
so funny. She was like, "Oh, I'm protecting him from Starfleet and all the shenanigans," and it was like, by doing this, he's
Galactically weapon
training
criminal.
weapons.
you're as bad as Rafi's husband. Which, yeah, like so.
Yeah.
I mean, do we get it though? Like Picard, like, do you want your son to be around that?
I am convinced that Crusher has convinced
Yes.
herself that those are
Yes.
valid reasons.
She's gone mad
I
because
don't.
of that. It's not
She's
the
been
right
very
thing.
Nope.
lonely.
She's been driven crazy by the
She
Starfleet
can light
life.
a candle. Come on.
She's like driven crazy by the Starfleet life. She's seen it happen. Maybe she can get her son away and just have a normal life, dodging normal people who don't have superpowers.
Just like
Just doing normal crimes.
it's
Exactly.
hilarious. She's like, listen, Starfleet and the stars have taken Jack from me, they've taken Wesley from me, they've taken you from me, so I'm gonna take my son and go into the stars and do some shenanigans that are very illegal. Okay, we're helping people. It's fine.
Yeah, the worst thing we run into is an explosion. Okay, not every day a space anomaly or super gods. Okay,
Every
all we
week
do
a
is
new
get
anime.
shot at. All we do is get shot at.
I did
Right.
like the intro of Beverly where she's like literally blazing Bev again and just like,
Blazing Bev.
Being Ripley.
That's the one
So-
thing I miss about Facebook, you guys. I gotta tell you. Star
yeah,
Trek
the
is amazing.
memes. Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever seen scorch marks like this? Only when Bev's killed?
That's right.
So
Too precise.
there's another mystery about like the big thing that was stolen from the Daystrom Institute was not the portal gun, it was something else. What do you
Yeah.
think it was?
It's Jack Crusher.
Ooh. No, so here but here's the thing. Is it though? Because the portal
It is
gun.
not.
No, not Jack Crusher. I'm talking about the
Okay.
portal gun. Because part of me feels like that's a misdirect. Because the
Yeah.
portal gun that did the damage on, to Starfleet, right, with the the building falling.
Yeah.
That if there's only one portal gun, I keep a portal gun, like I keep thinking of the game. If there's only one portal gun thing,
I think of the portals.
and it's on Vadic's ship, like then wouldn't that portal gun be what they stole to use against Picard and the Titan, essentially, right? And I am very curious about the tie-in with the changelings, which is a later conversation. But I don't know. Part of me feels like there probably is something bigger that got stolen. But
It's
part of
lore.
me wonders if that's.
It's lore. Oh my
Pretty
I
sure it's
know.
David's lore.
Yeah, we know. We know he's coming, and I'm like, that's another thing. I'm like, oh god, really? Like,
Oh
another,
no,
like,
really,
easy.
Lore?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that
Okay.
that's the other thing they stole from the Daystrom Institute. It's lore.
Didn't they
Yeah,
already do that in
very well
season
could.
one?
It very
No,
well
they
could
got
be.
before.
Oh right.
Yeah, it
So
very well
they
could
got
be.
before, and they got droid stuff and junk. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that Laura was there.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right because we do know he shows up. So that probably is correct. But I was like, maybe this is a misdirection to like get us thinking like, oh, what else could they have stolen? When really the portal gun was the thing that they wanted. You know what I mean? But no, I think you're probably right. Damn it.
Yikes. Well, the thing about portal guns is they make any heist much easier.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
They make any firefight much easier Also,
Also true.
apparently, where you just
I don't need
make it-
any weapon. I'm
it's
just gonna
like,
make
yeah.
you shoot yourself.
like
That
why
was
you
so
why do you
sad.
keep hitting yourself? Why do you keep hitting yourself?
Exactly.
Why do you
Stop
keep
hitting
hitting
yourself.
yourself?
They clowned on Starfleet so hard with that. Like, oh no, you got me from behind. Whoops! Shoo, shoo, ah! I just expected like a LOL to appear on their view screen.
Rip.
Just
Wrecked.
a big
Yeah.
L.
Fire
Yeah.
everything. LOL.
Get pwned. Get pwned.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was sad when I saw.
I think
that
it was
happen. Just
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's
Like, oh, you think you got us? Hold on, let me open my portal. All you're doing is hitting yourself.
Bye. Do we have anything else to say about Jack?
another performance that hey man, I like you. I like it. Dial down two. Dial down one, just a little bit. Also, like he doesn't wild about every time he does something, but there are a couple scenes where I'm like, okay, Han Solo, all right, chill, man.
Yeah.
All right, I get what you're doing. Bring it back.
I
A
think,
little aggressive.
yeah, I like him. Like, obviously, with the age issues aside, I actually really like him as an actor and as the character. Like, I think he's doing a great job. Again, I feel like it's similar to Raffi, where like this is what's written and you got to make it work.
Yeah.
But you know, I actually think he's a really good actor. Like I really
he's got good presence.
I've really liked him.
Yeah, he does have a good presence.
Yeah, I almost feel like they're maybe setting him up to get his own show.
I was wondering if there's going to be some kind of spinoff.
Oh my
like,
god!
to be honest with you, like in my
the
gut,
next
I'm
generation's next generation.
Yeah.
Well,
Jack,
which is,
Jack and the
again,
Rangers, something
Would
like
be
that.
doing
Yeah.
what I thought they were going to do with the next generation in the first place. Which
Yeah.
now that we experienced that you don't have to do that, and it's better if you don't. Now I
Now they're
guess
doing it.
yeah.
Again,
You got what you want, Keith.
yeah.
Like you got me. Dang it.
Again, again, low hanging fruit, and it frustrates me if that's what happens. Like I'm going to be genuinely frustrated. But that thought did cross my mind. Like, oh, I think this is like, hey, Picard's ending, but here's this stuff for you to continue on with. You know?
Jack and LaForge.
Yeah.
I'll be frustrated, but I'll still watch the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's Trek. You know,
Yeah.
I'm watching it.
Work
I
on
might
you.
have objections, but it's still my
But you'll watch
favorite.
it. Yep.
Absolutely. They know they're getting my money.
How do we feel about LaForge? I really like that they decided not to make her an engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
She is cute and she is got
they
the
needed
nickname
her on the
Crash.
bridge.
I like that.
I
That
love
was
the
the
nickname
story.
Crash. It makes me so happy.
It was really funny that they started pulling that out, and she's just like, "Hey, I know you're my dad's friends, but could you not do this to me on the bridge?" And started flying.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm at
Like,
work,
this is,
guys. I'm
this
at
is
work.
my job. Yeah. No, I love her. I love her character. I love what they did with her. I actually am very, very happy with the direction that her character has gone.
Is she also Geordie
No,
LeVar Burton's daughter?
no,
No.
No,
I
she's
no,
not
not
Micah
her.
but
Burton.
no.
no. Micah Burton is. I think she's supposed to be on at some point. I feel like
Yeah.
I read somewhere that she is going to be on at some point. But no, she is not. His
Okay.
daughter.
Yeah, I thought she was at
in
first,
real
too.
life. Yeah, in real life.
Gotcha. Aw.
She's phenomenal though. Like
Yep.
and I love
Yeah, she does
the
tabletop.
oh,
Ooh,
does she?
cool.
Oh, are you talking about Micah?
Micah.
Yeah. We
No, but back
have
to LaForge, yes.
yeah.
One of us.
But I love that I love when she broke out with the whole like, yeah, my dad always says there's nothing you can't break with physics when you use physics against it, or like or whatever it was, like
When
some
they
quote.
threw the ship at them, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought that was
That
cool.
was great. Yeah.
and they're like basically like, shut up, LaForge.
For real. Yeah, another thing that I really like about her is that she's a Starfleet officer who is competent at her job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
There's
yeah.
got to be one.
Of course, it has to be one of the daughters of the original, but still,
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
happy
think,
to see her. I think she's doing a
who's-
great job. She's very charming.
Agreed. And the
Yeah, I like her a
interaction she had with Seven in the inner quarters,
That was nice.
I think was
Yeah, that was
really,
very
really endearing, and a
Yeah.
very like genuine interaction, which, and then Commander Seven, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like,
It-
yeah.
kind of cool, quote unquote. But like, you can't steal Starship, guys. Like, you're gonna get arrested. Like,
Although he
Mhm.
put her in her room and took away temporarily her rank on insubordination.
Mhm.
But she didn't actually do the insubordination. She just suggested something to him that he didn't end up doing. So like he certainly could have gotten her on insubordination, but that particular thing was not insubordination. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like the bit where she helped them sneak and steal a shuttle, that would have been it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he didn't catch her doing that.
He didn't catch her doing that.
But he knew she did it. You're breaking rules.
All right.
I mean, I get it. Like, hey, we
I'm just
like
telling
her, we like them, and we were these are our friends. But like, when I step back from like this, I'm like, yes, TOS crew, everybody, stop. You can't break rules like that. Like, there's a lot of lives at stake that you're playing with, and like now because of what you did, 500 people could die who just wanted to go get some buffalo wings the next day, and but you just had to have your adventure at
They
their
were just
expense.
getting ready for Frontier Day, like the poor,
Yeah.
those poor things.
Did you guys catch when Shaw was like your other ex Borg friend, like the kind of hatred for like
that was fucked
like
up.
yeah.
Mhm. Too far, Shaw.
Mm-hmm. He's
Yeah,
kind
the
of
way
an
that
asshole. I
he
like
won't
him
let
though.
her use the word
Yeah.
7. He won't let her use
Yeah.
her name 7. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's anti-Borg.
Veronica.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which makes sense. I mean, the Borg suck, but Seven and Picard don't. They used to.
Yeah, I mean, there's okay. Balance of Terror, TOS. They run into Romulans for the first time, and a
Mhm.
dude on the bridge is like, "Hey, what the fuck? That guy looks like Spock." And Kirk goes, "There's no room for that on my bridge. Get off."
Yeah.
Nice.
And to
There we
see
go.
Shaw doing that to his commander, not cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think I've blazed through my notes. I know I'm forgetting something that I really wanted to talk about because that's all that happens. But
Okay.
I'm looking for the name of the I think she's Vulcan officer on the Titan.
I don't know if we ever got her name.
I don't know. I think she's also standing up and doing a pretty good job repping Starfleet decently.
Yeah, she got like 4 lines though.
Yeah, not enough lines. We'll have to see more of her, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah,
they do.
agreed.
That's a weird thing they do in Discovery. They have a weird crew, which each person has like this visual like look as if like, hey, you should care who that person is, but they're always background people to the foreground actors or stars of the show versus how
they're
I
just
want
there
my
kind of for
ensemble.
plot.
Yeah. Versus the crew, the bridge crew should be the stars of the show. But if you want that, you go to the Orville. I'll stop. Just saying.
I almost said it because I knew
Everything I
where
want.
you were going, and I almost was like Orville.
Yes. Yeah, if you want that, then you have to worry about your show getting canceled every season. So
Yep. Unless you're Seth MacFarlane and you basically can do whatever you want. Because if his show gets canceled, he could literally have his own network if he wanted. Like Seth MacFarlane is a monster.
Has the money. Yeah.
He the money, but he's also a monster. Like he has the money, he has the following, he has the passion. I mean, he could run, and I would come running. I'd absolutely be like, take my money. I love that dude. Like he is so much clout and is I mean, like I'm sure anyone can be you can find flaws in, right? But I really love what he's done.
I there's a part where Picard did apologize to Captain Shaw, which I was glad for, because like Picard and Jack Crusher were kind of walking around like, oh, why does everybody hate us? I'm like, dude, you freaking should always look at the floor around these people. They're putting their lives on for you, and you're joking, but then they are all coming around like, oh, well, okay, we were assholes. So I'm glad that that's being acknowledged at all. When I kind of expect them to just skate right past it, like, guys, this is your fault. Oh, and then one other thing, this is what I wanted to talk about. Caring about Starfleet uniforms and spaceships. So a thing that pissed me off in season 2 of Picard was this bait and switch where it starts off in a refit Stargazer, and they're all in uniform. The bridge is amazing. The Stargaze looks amazing. Like, oh, okay, are we going to do this now? We're going to be on a Starfleet vessel and have an adventure. And like, then at the end of the episode, psych, it's a time travel. The rest of the season's in LA in present day. Sorry, like we built I don't know how much money and time they spent on that bridge, only to blow it up and then do adventures in LA. And then this season they start, and I'm like, okay, you motherfuckers, you do this again, I'll kill everybody. and then like, because like they get like Picard like corrects this one guy in his uniform just a little bit. I'm like, okay, you care about uniforms, people in uniforms, and then like the interviews and stuff. Like Terry's like, we're doing a spaceship adventure. This is the hero ship. He even calls it the hero ship. So
good.
Yes, we are going to be on the Titan for this adventure.
Okay.
Not just for one episode, only to have like a singing episode somewhere in downtown LA. Kill everybody for this.
A singing episode?
Motherfuckers. Man.
Okay, we're done. Nope, we're not going down this road.
Okay.
Nope.
God bless it.
How adorable was it to see Riker smiling ear to ear and just staring at Jack? Like, dude, do you know who you are? Like, you know who you are? I know
you're Picard.
Dude. Yeah, like
that felt like like Riker's joy again, right? Like Riker just felt very dim compared to the bright, shining.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it was adorable. Like I love Jonathan Frakes, and just to see him like in that moment, just knowing who Jack was, like, as the character, and I just see him beaming ear to ear and just staring at him like, oh my god, look at who you are.
Picard and Crusher did it.
There's a similar moment of like, there's this just sheer joy on Riker Frakes' face. He was doing an interview with Will Wheaton. And like, there's going to be a scene eventually where like all the actors are together again on set, and like Frakes just looked off into the distance, and his just big smile just like grew on his face. He's like, it was like old times again. We couldn't stop joking with each other nonstop. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the joy there.
That makes you smile.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah.
God,
I was listening.
I hope they're experiencing some of that joy filming these episodes.
I
don't know.
We can hope. Yeah.
I was listening to Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, Inside of You, with Michael Rosenbaum, and he was talking to Frakes, and basically he was like, "Are you guys really like that cool of friends? Like, were you guys as a cast really
teach other things and stuff? Come on."
Yeah, and he was like, Jonathan Frakes was like, absolutely. He was like, I love, like, and he goes and doing this show, and then he talked about Picard and them coming together in the reunion. He was same thing. Like, I mean, it wasn't a video, it was audio. But you just hear the happiness in his voice of just like, it was so cool, and I love these people, and it was like the old days, and you just heard the excitement and just the pure joy. And I mean, that's got to be amazing to like come back to after 20-30 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Famously, DeForest on his deathbed was visited by some of his other cast members, and he was like, hey guys, should we make another one of those Star Trek movies? Those were fun, weren't they?
Yeah. It's not, I mean, but that's like, to have that camaraderie and that kind of like close-knit friendship. And he mentioned like their family, and he was talking about Will Wheaton, and how like he didn't know what was going on and all that stuff, and just how Will basically saw them as his family because his home was a little rough, which I won't get into. But and just how how real it was that they really were tight, and they really were family, and they really love each other, not just loved working together, but genuinely loved each other and love each other. And it shows still. It's just amazing. Like, just to see them together on screen, like that kind of chemistry comes out when you work together. And it's just so beautiful to watch.
That's why when I watch All Good Things in that final scene, I still tear up every sintle time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Around the poker table. I love it.
Speaking of family and parenthood, let's talk about 17 Seconds for a bit. 17 Seconds was the title of episode 3. It's the 17 seconds. Riker talks about it in his first speech when he's talking about when Thaddeus was born. A lot of monologues, a lot of like dialogue emotional dialogues in this episode, which actually I liked those kind of independently of the plot. So he talks about when Thaddeus was born and there was trouble and he like ran down to med bay and it took 17 seconds and they were the longest 17 seconds of his life because he thought he was losing his son. And then Picard has that exact same moment.
It's mirrored.
Jack.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Picard is kind of an asshole to Riker about the whole thing. And they have one of those fights where he's like, "Well, mine's still alive. Yours is dead," which wow,
not cool at all.
No. And out of character.
Yes.
Very out of character. I agree. Yeah, the way that they fought just felt very like vicious. Like,
especially like if your face guy like because it looked like they're facing the complete end. You don't tell your brother to get off the ship, off the bridge, if this is your last moments in the universe together. Like,
well,
and we were so happy a moment ago to recognize that that kid is in fact the kid of two of your close friends, one of whom, granted, you haven't seen in 20 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, she ran away because she was pregnant, it turns out.
Yeah, but and also the way this whole series started with him and Riker meeting in the bar and Riker being like, "I'd do anything for you. Where are we going? What kind of adventure? Like, I love you, bro." You know what I mean? And then to like have this like absolute opposite
to
during,
just throw his dead son in his face.
Yeah.
I don't. That just makes me uncomfortable. Like, just as someone who's kind of grown up with these characters, like it's hard to watch. In the same way, it was really hard to watch the tension and anger between Picard and Crusher. You know, when they're arguing, like where, you know, Picard's very valid point. You denied me the chance. And I'm like, why would she do that? It's like seeing, you know, well, two people I love fight, right? And it's as a fan, that was really hard to watch. Yeah.
I wrote down this line at the beginning of their conversation, Crusher and Picard, where she says, "We knew we were at an end," and he says, "I didn't."
Yeah.
And that had some really nice weight. I think they did those scenes really well.
Yeah, his Picard's acting, or Patrick Stewart's acting, was great in that scene.
Picard's acting.
Patrick Stewart
and Picard.
Yes.
Seeing them go head to head. They look like they're having a blast. Yeah, all the stuff of like them going hard on each other. It's because they're having fun for the last time. They want to give it their emotional all, even though
they want to do those disagreement scenes they never got to do on TNG.
Yeah. Dad's not here, so we could do whatever we want.
Yeah, but it does feel like that a little to me, where they were like, we're gonna have big disagreements because we never got to before, not because it makes sense for the characters to be behaving like that, you know?
You guys remember the flashback scene where like Picard and Riker were talking and they were CGI like de-aged?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Mom?
Huh?
Was that season 2?
No,
season 3.
No, season 3. That just
I
happened.
erased it from my brain.
Riker's hair is darker, and I think they just kind of.
It looks a little rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was less believable than I liked. Like it was obvious that it was like CGI'd, which, you know, bummed me out because there's some really good CGI out there, and Star Trek has great CGI, but I feel like they just took it a little too far.
Aging CGI is really weird. Like it always looks a little wrong.
Yeah, I'm never happy with the special effects for making people look older or a lot younger.
Yeah.
It just always looks uncanny valley.
Yeah. It was his eyes looked weird. I was just like, wait a minute.
Makeup for that, honestly.
As a Power Ranger fan, it didn't bother me whatsoever.
That part of your brain just burnt out, Keith.
No, it's like a part of me, like the reason why I like Power Rangers and like the reason why I never get bent out of shape about bad special effects is like I like having to use that extra step of my brain to use my imagination. Like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. Leave out a little part. And let me use my imagination to make it real in my head. I'm always okay with it. But I never, and I think it's like when I've been watching videos about special effects, it's a disservice to the craft that I don't care. Because like when they do kick ass and like when you don't notice whatsoever, like the amount of beautiful genius work that goes into it deserves all the recognition in the world, and everybody should attain to be that. But for me, I'm just like, hey man, do as best you can. I'll catch up. I'll catch up with you. It's cool for me.
I mean, it's fine. They again, like special effects studios are stretched kind of thin. Age special effects always look weird, and they have so many other like beautiful things going on. Like I really like the way that space exists in like not just in Star Trek. In general, I feel like we've really gotten down how to make beautiful space.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah,
And-
for sure.
Agreed. Yeah,
God, I love that.
absolutely.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think we were kind of down on that, but I think the scenes where they were like celebrating, or talking about like old wounds were really nice. I would like, I'm sure the end of the season will have more reconciliatory stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
if only for the 2 character private conversation scenes, I might like keep watching. Like for you mentioned it earlier, the LaForge and Seven, LaForge just being like, I see you, I understand you, I get it, and I think you did a really great job. Scene
Mhm.
like that was lovely, just lovely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be getting that for. Yeah, we'll be getting that. I just like so. Do you think they're gonna do it? I think I kill one of them. Is one of them gonna die? Like one of the original crew? Like every
Original crew, maybe. I don't think Jack will die, and I
No,
don't
not
think
Jack.
No, they'll keep Jack.
It'd be really funny if they killed Picard again.
that would be very funny and kind of.
I just got this android body. Damn it!
I don't think they're going to kill any of the original TNG cast.
Me neither.
personally.
Shaw's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah, they
Shaw's
won't
dead man
because
walking, poor guy.
They'll
want
be
them all
allowed to actually retire. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, they want them all to go off in the sunset together, like the end of Star Trek Discovery. Killing one of them off, we don't want to be bittersweet. We
Which
want
is a
Yeah.
shame, but they don't want all the Trek community like stampeding their offices and
Which
Like-
is what would happen if they did the like Lord of the Rings style. Everybody goes into the West. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, the only person I can think that would just love to do it is Worf, but I don't think Michael Dorn would want to. And then also
Right.
like in the interview with Will Wheaton and Frakes, they were still like, "Can we please get a ship where he's a captain, please?" And they're both like, "Yes, we both want that." So I think that telegraphed that he won't be gone because
Mhm,
they didn't like look away from the camera after saying that or anything.
mhm.
Well, I would
About
normally
that.
say actors don't have that much control over it, but Frakes is directing and writing, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might. I think it's time, you guys, to talk about the changelings.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll start with my sour response, which is like we had the entire Dominion War for this. You guys can you stop just like rehashing old plots, please? But it was set up nicely to be like there's already somebody that's betraying you. When they first mentioned that there was like basically somebody who was committing sabotage on the ship, I was like, oh, I swear to God, if this is another like Starfleet sucks, I'm gonna be really mad. So the fact that it was a changeling kind of like assuaged me there. So it's not terrible. I just, we did the Dominion War. That's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I
Well,
thought
I
it was
think-
going to be the aliens at the end of season 1 that we never got to see again. Because there's one great
Oh,
video.
right, those guys.
Yeah, this one great video like added up all the hints to it, where like the Shrike looks like the tip of those aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah, yeah.
It's shaped like them.
Yep.
It'd be a good reason for Beverly to need to vaporize the entire body.
And they created like a giant portal at the end of episode 1, so or season 1.
I don't remember that, but then there's that too. So that's the changelings is like because I even said that directly to Terry Metalis on Twitter. I was like, "Oh, it's not them," because like I was so excited. I was like, "This is the perfect payoff for their final adventure." Like the never paid off bad guys have showed up, and also they even did a line from that episode or that saga of trust no one. So I was like, "This is it. This is the big payoff." Like changelings.
No, that's actually because they got attacked by a bunch of different, and it turned out they were all changelings. Probably, yeah.
All right.
I think that it's the interesting thing is this is the tie-in to DS9, right? So we have
Mhm.
7, who's
Yeah.
the tie-in to Voyager. Now we have Changelings, which are and Worf, which is a tie-in to DS9.
And Worf, I guess.
Yeah, Worf, I guess. But I don't know, like the Dominion War, the Changelings, the Vorta. I mean, that's another thing. Like, who is this Vedek Vorta? I mean, what is Vedek's connection to
That'd be
the
interesting.
Changelings,
Yeah.
or is it a change, or is Vedek a changeling? But it's fan service, right? Because it's bringing in DS9 little tidbits to Picard. I don't know. Like I'm not angry about it. Obviously,
I kind of like it.
You know,
Yeah.
Jonathan, you bring up a really good question, and that question is, when are we seeing Combs?
Just-
When is Jeffrey
Yes.
Combs?
Oh,
coming
yeah.
We
back?
gotta have him back.
Dude, yeah. Jeffrey Combs needs to be on Picard. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and
I've
if he
been
can play like
cloned.
5+ characters, so much the better.
You know, it's funny. In credits, Vedek played by Jeffrey Combs. I've been cloned so much. This is what I look like now.
I was thinking if we're going to be doing Changeling, whatnot, like, are we going to be getting a signal from the wormhole, Cisco? Or you get a
That would be really cool.
yeah?
Oh
So you
man,
can see what happened to you.
that would be cool. I feel like that'd be too that would
Too
be too
much
much
for an episode, yeah.
fan service.
Too much
You know
cool,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like I feel like
Too much cool.
yeah.
So awesome, it'll never happen.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you guys
I know.
noticed it. I can't remember which episode it was, but when they were scanning the Shrike, they noticed like some photonic energy, like holographic.
Oh, I missed that.
I think that's
Yes.
when they were checking all of the weapons. So episode 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I didn't know what you guys thought of that. Like, because I don't want to spoil it for any, but I mean, in some of the previews, you see a hologram come back. That was in TNG.
Mhm.
Oh
like
yeah,
a villain.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That would be cool.
So-
Yeah. Interesting.
that's
And-
not a spoiler. That
Listen,
they
you're
put
not-
that in the trailer.
You put it in the
Yeah.
trailer. We don't actually know anything that anybody else knows, so I
Yeah.
think it's okay
Mhm.
to talk about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I laughed
so-
so
Absolutely.
hard at them
Yeah.
because they brought back Moriarty. We can say it. It's in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Which, I mean-
I laughed at them because I was like,
That's
aha, they're gonna
hilarious.
do more. They're gonna be doing more bullshit Picard. They're just gonna. But
Yeah.
now that I've been seeing them kind of hit all the marks, I'm very excited and curious as to how they'll do this or why they'll do
Well,
this.
Moriarty was such an epic character in TNG.
Great, yeah.
I mean, if it was like that whole arc was just phenomenal. So
I still
like,
think about
bringing,
him.
bringing back Moriarty and like that. You've got lore, you've got Moriarty, like you've got all these different things coming from TNG, and it's like, how does it play together? How is this all going to come together?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I could see
Mhm.
Moriarty being pissed because he just ends up in like a little data cube instead of thinking he's really
Right, living
free.
a
He's
fake
just in a
life,
little
yeah.
cube. So it's like,
That's
damn it.
what's so cool. Like I would
Mhm.
brush my teeth sometimes. Be like, man, he's just in a shuttle, just exploring the entire galaxy for eternity. I love that. And like, even though it's in a data cube, for him, it's as real as anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
since he's immortal, he doesn't need to have like warp travel. He gets to
Mhm.
explore all of like known everything.
Yeah. But
For
somehow
that-
he finds out.
And then now he gets to come. God, I can't wait to find out. I really hope they
Yeah.
do this right because,
Yeah.
man.
What if?
But I've been thinking about this. Mhm.
What if they use his super intelligence? They're like, you know what? Lore is our enemy. You know who
Could defeat
Lore is
Lore.
on equal.
Yeah.
You know who Lore is
That's
on equal
A
stage
nice
with?
twist.
Data.
Yeah.
You know
Dude.
who stood up to Data?
Moriarty.
Moriarty. Let's go
That's
get
a-
Moriarty to help.
That's
That
a
would
damn
be-
good thought.
That would
Someone
be
capable of
amazing.
defeating
See,
Data.
Yeah.
Yes.
Going
This
back
is-
to you got to be a
this-
writer. Yeah.
this is
why
why
I'm
Void.
here.
You're on
This is
fire,
why Void
Voidcat.
needs to write. Like I'm telling you, oh my gosh, mind
That-
explosion again.
That gave
Thank
me
you.
chills.
Yeah.
That would be
I
Dang.
need
So
this.
good.
No, I need this to be
Cool.
true. I need this to be so true now. I need this. in
My
life.
question with the Lore and Moriarty thing is, how does that come into the changelings? Like, I guess the changelings and Lore
Mhm.
are on the same side because they broke him out from the Daystrom Institute? Question mark.
Mhm.
I
theoretically,
mean,
yeah.
that's our theory. That's our theory. See, we got to work together on these things. You brainstorm.
Bro, I can't even. I love this idea so
That's-
much.
I
That
really
means
hope-
we're not
I
gonna
know
get
who
it. That's what
can.
you said.
I
know,
really
know.
hope you're
Oh,
right.
no.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really.
Now I want to believe
hope you're
against
right.
belief. I want to believe against belief. Like, we can't
Everyone at
beat
home,
Lord.
please email me. I hope you're right.
We know who can. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun.
Hello, everyone. Dun, dun. Oh my god.
Oh no, it's Lord.
Picard, you're an android now? What?
Oh my god, Lauren and Picard strike up a friendship because they're both androids.
Moriarty shows
That'd
up.
be amazing.
Picard and Riker both scream once, and they turn back into the scream camera and scream into the camera and cut to black. Just please, I need this so much.
Or like was it Moriarty like initiates the emergency command hologram procedure and has the
we got
tips.
Picardo back. That'd be great.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Lord have mercy.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'm so sorry that this might not happen now.
Yeah.
I know. Oh man.
Sorry.
Thanks
Too
for
many-
disappointed me
too
ahead
many
of
cool
time.
ideas. My
All
bad.
right. I think you've done it. I think I'm done. I'm not gonna watch Picard anymore because I know that's
Okay.
not gonna happen.
We're stopping the episode. That's it. Goodbye, everyone.
If they, there's no
I
better
quit.
reason for bringing him back.
But in all
Oh my
seriousness,
gosh.
I think I've pretty much burned through my notes. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I think that we're also seeing. I see a lot in Cobra Kai and a lot of fiction. The anti-Last Jedi, which I think was the point of Last Jedi, to really crush people so that they understand what it's like. And as a response to that, we've been seeing over and over again heroes being treated right and how
Just like an affirmation
the past
of
matters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Because in like one of the episodes, like I can't remember, I just have the quote here, but one of the characters, I'm pretty sure it's Riker, he said directly, the past matters. And I appreciate them doing this. That I do think Picard is mostly in character, and I can see him developing to what he's like in season 3, not season 1 and 2. But I find that he's more reserved, he's a little more of a hothead, but I can see he's like relaxed in his old age some, not the goofy relaxed in season 1 and 2.
Pretty hot-headed,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it. So far,
Picard
there's
goes
no.
through this arc. He's hot-headed youth, and then he
Yeah.
like becomes like
Too
stoic
reserved.
and like reserved, and then now he's old. He's like, "That's it. I'm getting mad again."
Yeah, get off my lawn.
That's first contact Picard again.
My lawn.
Yes.
Get off my warp nacelle or something.
I thought that was a little weird. The idea of shooting the torpedo to concuss the ship away, cool, but really, is that how that works? Well,
Super
I'll let it go.
unlikely. No, that is not how mass works.
I was like, I'll let it go, because like I liked how quickly like Riker and Picard worked together, because like they just read each other's minds. I'm on it, bro. Boom,
Yeah.
pow. I was like,
But then they stopped working together, and it was very sad.
Yeah.
Agreed. I one last little 12 Monkeys tidbit is when Jack Crusher came in and they were going through his aliases. One of the aliases was James Cole, which is the main character in 12 Monkeys.
Nice.
So I was like,
Nice.
okay, like and I loved that show. So I'm like, yes,
I love
yes.
the movie. I never saw the show, but I love the movie.
Yeah. I mean, anything having to do with science fiction and
I mean, time travel.
space or time travel, and I'm pretty much in. So
What, Jay? You?
no,
Shut the front door.
I know, right?
Well, I'm loving the show. The only thing I hate about it is that you have to wait a week between each episode.
I'm
Yep.
glad for that. I'm
Same.
glad to have
I
something
love
to
it.
Yeah.
save up for and get excited for.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
that's good.
else wait up until like 11 or 12 p.m. and watch it
Oh my
on
God.
Wednesdays?
Yeah,
I
I'm
stay
an
up
old guy. I
and
can't do
watch
that.
it.
Sleep.
Yeah, I stay up and watch it on Wednesday nights because I can't
Nice.
wait.
Jay,
I
it
get
comes out
so,
at
like-
like 1 a.m.
No, it comes out at like between 11 and it's either 11 or 12.
For me,
Like,
it comes out
yeah.
at like 2 or 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
same here.
Yeah, but no, like for us, because I checked.
You're
and
celebrating being on the West Coast. I see.
Yeah.
If I could, if it came out at 11, hell yeah, I'd watch it. But 3 a.m.
No,
That's too much for
it's
me.
11 or 12. I forget because I think it changes with time when the time change happens. But I stay up and watch it
Nerd.
because I can't
I
wait.
would if
Oh,
I
I'm
could.
such a nerd. I love it. I wouldn't
If
have
you
it any
weren't a
other
nerd,
way.
you would not
Exactly.
be here.
I know.
Mhm.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Hell yeah, man.
We love you,
What?
Jay.
You live here. Max, any last thoughts?
No,
No,
we're good.
I'm digging it. Yeah.
This is my favorite season. I mean, obviously, like I'm a fan because it's Picard, obviously.
From
but
when you guys have told me nobody's favorite season can be season 2. So.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Agreed.
You didn't miss anything by not watching it.
Yeah.
Thanks, I won't.
Yeah,
It
it's
creates
like
some of
Will
the funniest
being
YouTube
downstairs
videos
carrying
I've
cakes.
seen in my
It's so
entire
bad.
life, though.
What are?
So
So you-
season 2 creates some of the funniest YouTube videos of my lifetime.
Yep.
Like,
Nice.
how bad it was worth it to see Red Letter Media's response to it. I was like I said, I had so much joy with season 2. It was just
Nice.
such shit. Like, thank you so much.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful shit.
Yes, they even ripped off Farscape. Oh my god, thank you so much. Just blatant ripoff of Farscape.
All right, so I think we're at that time.
Yeah.
So here's the question I'm gonna pose to each of you individually. What are you looking forward to the most in the rest of the season? Jay, you go first.
I am looking forward to, because I'm a big softie, the connection between Picard and Jack, and what comes from it, right? Because as someone who grew up without a dad, father-son connections are like kryptonite to me. So yeah, so that right there is I'm holding on. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm watching like at midnight basically on Wednesdays, is because like I need to see what happens with them. You know what I mean? Like that's I'm looking forward to that, and I'm very hopeful that it gives me all the feels that I'm looking for.
with like how much Picard wants to reconcile with him as well, and slowly turning Jack towards him. Yeah.
Like father-son relationships done well on TV shows and on movies and stuff are just like melt me. I've become a puddle of emotional mush. So
same here.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I really hope that they get the beautiful connection that I never had. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's fair. It really feels like the one-on-one relationships are the bit of this that are getting like the most work. So I think you have a good chance of getting some really kick in the feel stuff.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if I cry.
I will not do.
No judgment.
Yeah.
Prodigy made me cry. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Prodigy
did great.
So good. Oh, that ending on Prodigy? Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Whoa.
Like my whole body had chills, and I was just a mess.
I was like,
I guess I gotta watch that.
I tightened up. I was like, no, you're not getting a tear from me. Oh, damn.
It's okay to cry sometimes, Keith.
It got just wanted to it got me.
All right, Keith, that makes you next. What are you looking forward to?
Let's see. The things I'm looking forward to are the introduction of each legacy character, because I love that kind of stuff. And like Kamen Rider at the end of every episode where you get a new Kamen Rider, there's like a final shot of like someone steps in the screen and it's like, hey, did you need something? And you're like, oh my god, it's that person. So like when Jordy shows up, or when Marina Sirtis shows up. Huh?
Oh, hey, Dad.
Yeah. Just like, oh my god, hey, Dad. Did you need some saving, daughter? And like he flies with this Galaxy class Challenger. So like each one of those, I'm dying. I can't wait to see them show up. There's got to be, or like what they mentioned, there's going to be a moment where they're on, I think the bridge together. And what I'm hoping is that it's going to be like a One Piece. Like, so in One Piece, you have a bunch of characters that are often usually scattered. And then like eventually, like in climax moments, like the entire crew standing side by side, just whoops ass on everybody near them, and just some of the greatest moments of your life. And I just want to see like them all on the bridge, and they're like, warp fire, Jordy, warp speed, and I just want to see them like sing together.
Data, scan for life forms.
Yes,
okay, Keith,
do it. Just all over the screen. And yeah.
You already had like a lot of points, even though we disagree on a lot of things. Like I'm liking you more and more. One Piece.
That's good.
One Piece is my wife and my son's favorite show. Like
For good
they
reason.
binge watch One Piece still. Like they're on like episode 200, and
Oh,
it's
Only
we have
200. It's thousands of episodes.
No, I know.
I'm in
Yeah.
We have-
1,000.
when my flag,
so
I
impressed.
have
believe One Piece came
proudly
up in this.
I I have proudly flown a United Federation of Planets flag as, on the flagpole at my house since we've had this
Nice.
house. It just got like every couple years it gets damaged and I have to replace it.
And you
This
have a Straw
year-
Hat flag now?
We
you?
do. Yes,
Nice.
it is now. It is
Nice.
now. Yeah, I've been outvoted by my son and my wife, and
Wow,
they
you're
said
flying the
we
straw
want
hat.
Straw Hat Gang. Our flag is the Straw Hat Gang.
Bro.
Yeah.
Gang, gang,
so
gang, gang.
like, I'm just saying, like, all right, Keith, keep
One
it up,
Piece.
man. Like, we're good.
Greatest story I've ever seen ever. Like I've never seen. This is our world's Iliad, and it's remembered forever. Because
I
And
will admit-
it's
and Chopper is my favorite.
Oh, of course he is.
heartbreaking.
Cute. I will admit that One Piece and Star Trek have one big thing in common for me that no other show has, and that is that they made me cry over ships.
Mm,
Mhm.
Yeah, the going Mary, that I bawled.
Don't talk about it. We're
Anyway,
moving
anyway.
on.
Yeah, that was the first anime to ever make me cry. Like I was a mess.
You gotta watch more anime then.
Okay, and then
All right, we're not talking about this. It's Star Trek. Star Trek.
The last thing I want
Ugh.
from my Star
I'm
Trek
just-
is one last
Mhm.
beautiful final shot. That the final moment where they think they're all going to be standing together, probably, and the music playing, and then I went in all of my finales of anything Star Trek. Hit it, boom, and then
Or
they got to
or you-
warp at the end. Got to warp for that
Rhyming
ending.
speed.
That's how you nail my Star Treks.
or he's like, yeah, second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Yep.
I like that, but they should hit warp. But
Yeah.
anyway, got to warp at the end. Got to warp at the end.
Michael, what about you?
I agree with Keith and Jay, but I'm looking forward to seeing the other TNG cast members introduced. But now that you've put this Moriarty lore idea in my
Oh,
head, I
yeah,
want that to happen
that's-
so much.
That's gonna be
yeah.
following me around for the next few weeks. Just
I'm
I'm
so
become-
sorry. Good luck with that.
I'm gonna become
Yeah.
a Christian.
You're
I'm
like-
gonna become
you're like,
Christian
I'm
again
out.
and go to church and be like, please, God, please.
You knew.
give me this.
You knew what
Yeah.
you were doing, Floyd. You knew what you were doing to us.
I just love a really well-built story. Okay, I won't apologize for that.
Damn
Better
it.
not.
No, but that's what I'm looking forward to most is the see the rest of the TNG cast introduced.
I do miss Geordi. I want to see
Yeah.
Geordi.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jory's the one I want to see most.
I mean, listen, he's supposedly running the Daystrom Institute, right? That's what they said.
yes.
Or a
I
museum or
think,
something?
Yeah.
Or
Or
a
the
museum.
Fleet Museum or something.
Fleet
Yeah.
Museum. Right. Okay. Because I was like, if he was at the Daystrom Institute, that would give us an excuse to go see him. But it was
Yeah.
the Fleet Museum. That's right.
There
Geordi. Oh well. Max, what are you looking forward to?
Well, yeah, Geordi. I very much want to see Geordi back. I love LeVar Burton. Just full stop.
How could you not?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I'm curious if we'll get Cole Meany for
Oh,
Oh, that would be amazing.
that'd be
right.
cool.
Oh my
it'd
God,
be
Cole.
Yeah.
That would be
Um,
amazing.
So if we could get the Galaxy's greatest engineer back in O'Brien, that would be pretty cool. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to more sequences, giving Worf more to chew on. And then that close, like Keith said, is really important. So I can't imagine we'll get something quite as gripping as the end of all good things.
Mm-hmm.
But they've
Mhm.
got to do their best to nail it. So I'm really looking forward to what they're thinking of.
I wonder if they'll Picards again at the end.
They know it's supposed to be a finale, like an ultimate
Mhm.
finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they pull out all the stops. I'm personally looking forward to all of the emails that all of you will send me about how cool it would have been if my ideas had come true.
Indeed.
No, but you guys, when Ford shows up, when LaFord shows up, tell me what episode that is because I will watch it.
Cool.
Right on.
Okay.
I hope
know.
curiosity takes you in that you did it seems like you did like some parts. You saw,
Yeah, who knows?
I felt
Maybe
joy.
I'll watch it more.
Yeah, that maybe you'll
I
find
don't
some
know,
more
the-
joy in there.
the anti-Starfleet sentiment is really messing with me.
Yeah.
For great
Yeah.
reason.
Mhm.
Yeah. But like I said, the relationship stuff that they've been doing, except for like the sudden fighting, has been really interesting, and it's nice to see them act with each other again. So we'll see.
I actually am wanting to say I'm thankful that you joined us today.
Hell
Oh,
yes.
absolutely, yes.
Always
Thank
fun,
you for coming
Sabrina.
back.
Thank you for inviting me back, even if we made it 5 lights.
It's just a
There
name.
are 5 lights.
How many lights do you see?
But yeah, like I don't know, maybe like I said, if you do, if curiosity gets you and you come back for the little bits of joy that you find in these episodes, I would love to talk to you more about what happened in Star Trek Prodigy and see if that does more of what you are looking for.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, according to Keith, what I should be really watching is Star Trek Prodigy and the Orville. So
Yes.
maybe we'll talk about
It's
that.
weird that Keith's making show recommendations.
Yeah.
Me,
You are really,
never.
you are really good at this, and it's always amazing talking with you. So would love to have 5 lights more. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Yes, especially for the finale for the TNG crew. No pressure.
yes,
No
yes.
pressure. Snicker.
Yeah, I did miss you. I miss you, but whenever I watch Star Trek, I feel sad, and I don't like that. So,
Yeah.
but
That's understandable.
yeah, I was happy to be here with you guys again, and hopefully, I can come back.
Maybe.
Keith, do you have anything final you want to say to lead us off there?
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. And remember, everyone, Starfleet crew, you pirates, keep looking up.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Tell me how many lights you see.
Lives and Times Records and Tapes proudly presents Sir Patrick Stewart's Cowboy Classics.
Keep rolling, 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 though the streams are swollen. Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide. Through rain and wind and weather, hell bent for leather. Wishing my gal was by my side. Cut 'em out!